There's no music.
She just perfect for me.
No, there's the music.
This dance is not the plan. Life is Lovely girl. She is very different. Lovely girl. Everything you can see.
Well, after that technical hiccup, it's time to get everything started. Here we go.
Did you blow it up again?
I wasn't in the stream.
Sounds about right.
Distance nerding.
Hey!
Frozen.
Hey! Who's frozen? You're frozen. I'm not.
You're frozen. Yeah. On my screen.
I don't see anybody frozen.
Oh, okay. Huh. That's really weird.
Why are we having so many technical difficulties? Can you guys get your shit together?
Now I see you moving and
I don't.
moving
It's not,
pictures.
it's not even updating on Facebook.
Oh, this is great.
How's our MySpace post looking?
Our MySpace is working, I think, surprisingly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching The Build. And hopefully there's not as many technical difficulties now, especially now that Ray is rocking the John Cena.
Oh no, he's not rocking the John Cena.
No, that's the John Cena.
Oh boy. You just lost Jackie.
And Jackie's just like, I'm just gonna smile and wave.
There's the way. There we go.
Well, guys, you are now watching Distance Nerding. Specifically, you are watching The Build. Guys, before I get into all the fun that is The Build, hopefully we get to finish the Batwing today. I've gotta shout out the things that make our entire world go round. Right? And those things, number one, to start off, the stream here is brought to you by a wonderful little company, a little small company called Poddex. Ladies and gentlemen, Poddex are unique interview question and episode starting prompt in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or an existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience, or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddex.com. Now, guys, head over to poddex.com, use the code nerding10. You get 10% off of your purchase. Now, there are multiple things you can get at Poddex. There are the interview decks themselves. You want to be the cool person at your next party or at your next corporate event, do the icebreaker, all that kind of thing. Guys, get yourself some Poddex. If you are a podcaster or an interviewer, get yourself some Poddex. They are great. We use them all the time. We use them in our interviews at the live events that we go to. So yeah, guys, check out Poddex. Now, also, if you've seen me rocking the podcaster shirt that looks like a Supreme shirt, that's a podcaster merch right there. So guys, head over to poddex.com, use the code nerding10, get 10% off of your purchase. Now,
I used Poddex at your wedding.
did you? Oh, you did?
Yeah, I almost got kicked out.
Oh, yeah. Well, who
It's okay.
was,
So did we.
Yeah, I know. Tried to kick us out of our own wedding. Ladies and gentlemen, now you hear all this energy and you're just like, why is Phil always so animated? Why does he always have so much energy all the damn time? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, guys, it's because young Phil is powered by the Dubs of the Dubs, Dubby. I still have to put that on my soundboard. Ladies and gentlemen, Dubby is an emerging brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Dubby contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors, no dyes, none of that extra stuff that you don't need in your body. Find out more about Dubby at www.dubby.gg. And guys, as always, use the code NERDING10 to get 10% off your order. I was going to say your order.
And
there are 5 delicious flavors. 5 delicious flavors of the energy. Notice I'm saying of the energy blend, which are Dub Sludge, Dragonade, Galaxy Grenade, Beach and Peach, and Passion Joy Tea. And now there is a new hydration flavor. No caffeine, no energy blend, but it has a hydration blend in it, so it's good for your kids. It's basically Gatorade. Monkey Madness, and it is a strawberry banana. It is delicious. It is an awesome blend. We were drinking it at Heroes Fest, this last weekend, and we were giving out samples of everything at Heroes Fest, and people were loving it. You know, like they're getting all their energy. They're getting all the hydrations. Some people were getting the hydration blend for their kids. Of course, Raider Ray wasn't there because he was enjoying a wrestling event in Bakersfield.
I wanted to be there. I was there in spirit.
You were there in spirit, but you were enjoying the event that I wish I was enjoying. You know, I mean, not that I didn't love Heroes Fest. Heroes Fest was a blast, man. We had so much fun.
It was like fun.
Yeah. But yeah, all of that. Now, guys, all that being said, everything that I've said right here, normally I do the introductions for the guest, but I think, Ray, I think it's appropriate that you introduce our guest.
Do I know her?
Maybe.
Oh, so our guest is quite an accomplished cosplayer, if I say so in my amateur opinion, because every time she puts something on or makes something, and I'm impressed, and I forget that I actually know this person. So she's she's gonna kill me because I think she's a member of the Avengers Initiative.
Mm-hmm.
She cosplays most noticeably that you'll see her on her social medias as Captain Carter and different variations of it, which is really cool. So she's in full war gear, or her her skirts and her bomber jacket and all that stuff. So she's
Agent Carter, Peggy Carter.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Thank you for picking me up there. So she's got a
Coach Carter.
Yeah,
Carter.
She's got a wallet that says BMF on it.
Fun fact: Coach Carter was in the city that Jackie's from.
I'm not from Richmond.
Well, close enough to Richmond.
I went to school in the Richmond School District.
There you go.
Richmond adjacent.
She's Richmond adjacent because she was in El Sobrane.
Yeah.
But her name is Jennifer, and
we like to call her Jenny
from the
from the block.
From Jenny from the Facebook.
Jenny from the Facebook.
When she comes online. But really excited to have her on. She's gonna tell us a lot about the Avengers Initiative, cosplay in general, what got her into cosplay. She's definitely going to talk to us about Blockbuster Video, and
literally Jenny from the block.
Yeah, Buster.
Jenny from the Blockbuster.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, and that amazing introduction from Raider Ray, welcome on Jennifer Athey.
Hi there.
It was his idea to do the Jenny thing.
Thank you for that lovely introduction, Ray and Phil, everyone.
Absolutely, Jenny from the block. That's going to be your new nickname.
Awesome! I'm so excited.
Jenny from the Blockbuster.
It has to be Jenny from the Blockbuster.
Yeah. That I might allow.
Jenny. That's why we're doing it on purpose.
So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Jenny, how are you doing? How's everything going?
It's going well. I've been working from home for like, oh gosh, 2.5 years now. So I'm a mountain hermit in the mountains of Southern
Wow.
California. Yeah, me and my cat hanging out. Um, but yeah, it's really let me kind of have like a lot of free time because I'm not commuting now. So that's really helped me kind of diversify my cosplay game and learn some new skills. So I'm
Diversify your
really
mind.
excited to talk about what I do and what we do on the Avengers Initiative.
So with your cosplay, are you? I know the answer to this question, but for everyone else, like, do you put everything together yourself? Do you like go to like vintage stores? Like, how do you put your outfits or your cosplays together?
So I hosted a cosplay panel at LACC, and I had all these wonderful makers from our club on there, and they all told their amazing skills. And I work really hard to make the money to pay other people to make my cosplays for me.
Nothing wrong with that.
But when I was starting out, like the picture you used for the promos, the black and white one where I'm Peggy Carter from First Avenger, that skirt was 50 cents at the Goodwill.
Nice.
We won't talk about how much the Ike jacket was because that was custom. But yeah, it's you can put stuff together from your closet. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars, but because of the service things that I do, you want that believable costume when you go in that kids room or something like that, where they just can buy into right away that this is the character standing in front of me.
Yeah, aside from my mask, my Unipol cosplay probably cost me a total of like $30-$40.
Nice. That's really good.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, that's
all
right.
about cosplay on a budget.
In fact, he bought his swords at LA Comic Con last year. I missed your panel obviously when we were there, but
yeah, you did. Mm-hmm.
What a
I'll
great!
be there.
Got there so late that day.
Sorry.
So you mentioned your service stuff. Like, what kind of stuff do you guys do in the Avengers Initiative? Is like for service for in the community.
Sure. So, Avengers Initiative is a nationwide organization, and I'm the executive officer for Southern California. California goes by the West Coast Avengers, appropriately enough.
Of course,
And of course it does. We do clinical visits to Chalk. We're going to be going to City of Hope, Miller Women's and Children's down here. Shriners, we do a lot with the Shriners all year long. Going to visit the kids in the outpatient hospital, and then for their big toy drive at the Shrine Auditorium during Christmas time. We do community events as well. We did the Marvel Night at the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes game. Minor League Baseball is doing this really cool promo this season and next called Defenders of the Diamond. So they give the teams Marvel-themed jerseys. They have an official Marvel character there. And then we went down to the Rancho Cucamonga game and provided atmosphere for the guests or the attendees waiting to go into the park to watch the game. And we took tons of pictures. Yeah, it was a great time. It was a lot of fun. It's when I learned carrying Mjolnir takes some muscles. My arm hurt for 3 days.
Well, that's why that's why Hemsworth is as big as he is.
Yes. I have a new one. Yeah. I have a new one that's a lot lighter, thankfully. So.
And that's the one you painted. The newest one, the most recent one you painted.
Yeah, the one that I painted for Comic-Con. Let's see if I can.
That's dope.
Going the wrong way. You can kind of see it lighting up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So it's much lighter.
Foam?
3D printed.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
And then my friend 3D printed it in England, mailed it out to me. I painted it, and she had programmed a Raspberry Pi board.
Ooh.
Oh.
To run the LEDs that are stuffed in there. And then in the handle, it's actually got all the cables, and I could even charge my phone on it.
That's awesome.
That is really cool.
That is Peggy Carter accurate, right? Just charge your phone in Mjolnir.
Yes, functional props are the best props.
Can't be mad at that.
No, not at all. I have to ask just because it's in my head right now, but you guys are the California troop is West Coast Avengers, right? Do you guys have a Squirrel Girl?
I
Squirrel
think we
Girl.
do in Northern California, but I don't think we actually have a squirrel girl down here right now.
Phil's your girl.
All right, great.
I'll be your squirrel girl. Yeah.
I'll send you the website. Send me some pictures. Let's see what you got.
I am
It's gotta be the
100%
big
not
bushy
hot enough.
tail.
I'm saying I'm 100% not hot enough to be squirrel girl.
Oh, don't sell yourself
I'm also
short,
not a
Phil.
redhead, so I can't be squirrel girl.
You know, kind of to that point, it's funny when people say I can't cosplay such and such because I don't look like so and so. Well, I don't look like Haley Atwell. Most Black Widow cosplayers I know don't look like Scarlett Johansson. The Caps I know don't look like Chris Evans, as evidenced by the fact that I'm not in jail for doing something inappropriate. And you know, a lot of times the way I look at it with things like that, like do I look like the character enough or the actor enough? It's not about looking just like them. It's about embodying what the character means, not the actor. You're not trying to cosplay the actor.
Right.
And you know, when you look maybe a little different than what someone's used to seeing as a certain character, maybe that difference tells a little kid that they could do this too.
Right.
So that's actually a really big thing, is that don't worry about not looking like the character, because that doesn't matter. It's what's in your heart and what you bring to the, when you put that costume on, you know, what do you bring to the table with that?
Oh yeah.
So, Phil,
Goodness.
did you think you looked like Ryan Reynolds?
I mean, I look like Ryan Reynolds with a mask on.
Okay.
Definitely more burn marks on you.
Well, like I said, with the mask on, you know,
Right.
I definitely look like Ryan Reynolds. I'm just gonna tell everybody, yeah, I look just like him. You know, do I sound like him? Yeah, exactly. It's just the thing that happens. Just, you know,
Have you bought a soccer team yet? Is the question.
no, but you know what, dude? You know, I did not realize how impossible it is to find a Wrexham jersey in the United States.
Oh, I know. I already looked it up. I have to go to their actual website and get it shipped across the pond.
Right. I'm trying to see if I can get a Wrexham jersey by LA Comic-Con because I want to
See
add
if
that to my.
brother, not that I talked to him, but see if my
your
brother
brother
can get it for me.
Yeah, because
For
I wanna get a Wrexham jersey to wear as a part of the costume to make it like super meta.
Hmm.
Right. So it's like I'm walking around as Deadpool wearing a Wrexham jersey.
Actually, I think I know somebody that was in Great Britain. Let me
Can
see.
I get a? I want to get a Wrexham jersey just so that we can walk around together and you can continue to fire me for being an awful soccer player.
Oh my god, that would be amazing, dude.
Just be one of the ones that gets cut. Like, well, you're fired. You can't. You dribble the ball like it's a basketball. Like, just I don't know. Just I'm the worst. I'm the only. Never mind. I probably shouldn't say that. I just don't play soccer.
He's like, I'm not that kind of Mexican.
That's what I was going with. That's exactly where I was going with that. Yep. Uh-huh. I'm more likely to dribble out of my mouth than I am with the soccer ball. So,
So, fun fact, I'm very in character the entire time when I play Deadpool, and that would be great because I do a lot of like walking, and I'm more the character than I am Ryan Reynolds' version of the character. So like I walk around cons and I just scream at the top of my lungs, "Mercenary for hire! Does anybody need a mercenary?" Right. When we went to we did a show in Reno, and I was walking around like because I'll add to it based on the shows that I'm at, and I was like, "Mercenary for hire." I'm in considerable gambling debt right now. I need to get myself out of this, so I will take any job. And that's the other thing is I try to make him sound as desperate as possible, just because it fits the character of Deadpool.
kind of segueing into that.
I was going to say, I like the idea
yeah.
of us walking around LA Comic-Con going like making jokes about like, you know, so I just recently bought a soccer team and this guy's terrible. Why did you hire him?
And I'm totally fine with he can't play soccer, but he can sure cut my lawn.
Oh god.
I'm so fine with that. We're gonna get canceled on the first day. They're gonna kick us out.
Yeah, we're getting canceled for sure. It's like,
So-
it's like he can't dribble a ball, but he can sure cut a lawn.
So I'll get to the questions about the applications. Because you mentioned that to him. I know jokingly for his Squirrel Girl, but is there like an outline as to what characters you the West Coast Avengers or Avengers Initiative accepts, or is it just basically anything in the Marvel comic universe?
Anything in the Marvel Universe, comics, cinematic, it doesn't matter. We had one gal who was considering joining, but kept saying she didn't have a Marvel outfit. And Mark, who's our leader, said she's blonde, right? So he's like, get a pair of scrubs, grab a laundry basket. You're Steve's neighbor in Winter Soldier,
Nice,
Sharon
yeah.
Carter, and that's a recognizable costume because
That's outstanding.
And I know there's clubs out there that have like a book that you have to follow and everything has to be precise, and that's great if that works for them. But we don't have that. We're a little more relaxed. Your costume, we do ask for front, side, and back photos because we want to make sure when you do event with kids, you don't have a costume that's hanging open in the back. Like Ruby's costumes sometimes have, the whole back's open with like 3 little pieces of Velcro. And just that if you walk in that kid's room at the hospital, or if you're walking around like at one of the Walk for Kids or things like that, no one's going to be like, oh, that's some weirdo in a really bad costume. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, Captain America, oh my gosh. And they run over and, they grab your legs and hug you, and it's wild. So
not Hollywood Boulevard stuff.
No, it's really interesting when we go to events down there and you walk down Hollywood Boulevard to get over to the theater.
By the way, just as a side note, I really hope that they pay off, and She-Hulk, they pay off that art at the end, the credit scene where they actually have all the Hollywood Boulevard cosplayers and she's there with them. I'm really hoping that actually gets paid off in one of the episodes.
Venice Beach too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, for sure.
I'd like to see both of those happen. I won't give any spoilers, but this week's had me doubled over. So I'll be talking about that one somewhere else tomorrow night.
I enjoyed this week's episode.
Yeah, this week's was really good. It was funny. It was very clever the way I liked what they did this week.
I mean, the show in general is really good. Like they're really good at the way that they talk about like some of the stuff. What surprises me is they predicted what people were going to say.
Yeah.
Like they knew that people were going to be outraged by this character, so they addressed it in the show. Because like a lot of people are like, oh, they're talking about the way that people are talking about the show right now. It's like, you do realize they filmed this months ago. Right.
Those are real comments too from when the show was announced.
Right.
That's insane.
Yeah. They just obviously changed the screen names because they didn't want to get sued, I'm sure. But
sure.
Yeah, that was a great moment. I was like, this is perfect. And they keep doing that, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it a great deal because it just makes them more mad.
Oh yeah.
That's what I love about it, the contrarian that I am, the fact that it makes some people so angry that they have to like put awful reviews for it just because they're so angry. Yeah. Good. I'll keep watching.
Yeah.
It's a great show. It's a great show. So much fun. That's my next costume that's on the way.
Are you going to do She-Hulk?
I'm going to do a She-Hulk. I'm going to have to practice with the makeup a lot, but the makeup's only going to be from here up because the rest is a suit. So
nice.
Yeah, we'll see.
There's an option for you, Phil. It can be She-Hulk.
Yeah, perfect.
She-Hulk.
I guess that would make you He-Hulk. Because you wouldn't quite be Banner or Smart Hulk.
So He-Hulk. Any costume that I do, because it's really just the way that I do it, but is basically like the whole theme of the costumes that I do is Deadpool cosplaying as other things.
Okay.
So my main thing is Deadpool cosplaying as a unicorn, because why wouldn't he? Right. But at the same time, it's like I've done it where I dressed up as Sully because I knew I was going to be meeting the girl who played Boo.
Mary Gibbs.
Okay.
Mary Gibbs.
Escaping. Thank you.
Right.
The name was escaping me.
Yeah.
I'm the resident historian around here.
Right.
So.
Why? Thank you.
Right. But no, yeah. When we met Mary Gibbs, I dressed up as Sully from Monsters Inc. just so she could say Kitty.
And she did.
Oh, and she did, and it was hilarious.
Aw.
She did it. It was unplanned. It was like I had a plan that I was going to bring to her, but she did it without me telling her the plan. And I like broke down and started crying. It was great.
Do you have any experiences like that where like people look forward to seeing you and like what your cosplay is, or?
I think I don't know if they tell the kids in the hospital we're coming, but they do at some. Well, the kids in the rooms. Some events, the kids know the heroes are going to be there, and they're super excited. But the kids in the rooms, because you never know. Okay, maybe little Timmy has an infection, and we can't go in that room now because he's in isolation. So they don't want to hype the kids up for that, obviously, because then then they're disappointed, and we don't want that for sure. But even just the moment they see you coming and they register, oh my gosh, that's Captain America, and there's Hawkeye and Black Widow, and everybody's walking into the hospital. Or well, we don't change outside we change inside so they don't see us walk in.
Right.
Like, oh, I didn't know that that's what Captain America drove. So we want to hold that illusion.
Get the motorcycle from the 80s.
Yeah. Oh,
I didn't know Captain America drove a Gremlin.
I lobbied really hard for this army green Indian motorcycle I saw online that had a sidecar. Not because I ride, but my boyfriend does, and I can sit in the sidecar. So
that's actually pretty awesome.
I did not win that argument, but that's okay. That's okay.
It's not over. It's just tabled for now.
Exactly. But what's funny, because I also help coordinate most of the events. So I'm in contact with the child life specialists at the different hospitals or the administrators at these different community organizations we help out, Ronald McDonald House, Shriners, things like that. And they're almost excited as the kids just knowing we're coming. And they're always happy to have us back. We work really hard to, behave in a professional way to really let the kids enjoy the day and to make sure we get asked back. And there's things to consider with hospital visits, especially about privacy. So I work in healthcare in my real job. And so I understand the nuances of not, going live from a kid's hospital room or something because HIPAA. So, it's so many things to consider, but it's a lot of fun, and we still do get pictures with the patients if they give permission, and if they sign a release, then the hospital will send us the pictures that were released so we can share them on our social media, which we do to show to the community what we're out there doing, that we're making a difference,
right?
Trying to.
So, as apart from the wonderful work you all do in the community with the hospitals, there are also other perks to doing what you do, are there not?
We have been afforded a pretty special opportunity way back when Run Disney was still going on. And Ray, I know what you're asking. I'm getting there, I promise.
I know. I figured. I said I teed it up for you. I'm
you
patient.
Did. Thank you. Good job. They had the Avengers Initiative come out. I want to say it was 2014 when they did the Avengers races, and had them on the cheering line. I wasn't in the group yet, but like cheering people on along the route and at the starting line and the finish line. And that sort of made this little relationship with Disney. And then when Ant-Man and the Wasp came out, they were like, it'd be cool if we had some cosplayers here. So they invited a handful of cosplayers. And now, fast forward to current times, if you watch the live streams of the premieres, how the red carpet is lined with fan pits of cosplayers, we are fortunate enough to have some cosplayers included on that list, and we get to go to the different events in relevant costumes and provide a energetic and live backdrop for their webcast and their red carpet arrivals. So,
oh, that's awesome.
And we do get to see the movie early. And as someone who lives in constant fear of spoilers, it soothes my soul. Not because, haha, I got to see it early, but no one can spoil me. So,
yeah,
that's very fair.
Yeah, and you get to have some cool interactions. So.
Right. Now, a friend of the show, Logan Dominic, is at a lot of these red carpet events.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh yeah, I just saw him at Pinocchio.
Yeah.
And I think he was at he was at Andor.
Yes, he sadly he got sick at Andor.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Yeah, neither of those are Marvel, I realized. But yes,
he was supposed to come to the show that we did in Fresno.
Okay.
And Emmanuel, his dad, called us like the morning of. Was like, yeah, no, he's not feeling good at all.
Oh, poor little guy.
Like,
he's cool.
He had Andor. Like he was like, yeah, he was like, we had Andor last night, and he's not feeling good at all. So
it sucks.
It takes a lot out of an adult. I can't imagine for a little kid,
and he's 6, so I mean, like,
yeah, and I know I've seen him at quite a few. And Disney's really good with us. They make sure that we're hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Thor was a rough one because it was really hot out and there's no shade
Oh.
because they're using a big like boom camera that's swinging around.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's no shade on us. It was 90 some odd degrees. I was wearing Mighty Thor with a wig and the helmet on top of it. But I felt fine because I was drinking so much water and not really, paying attention. And the next morning I woke up, I'm like, gosh, my skin is so warm. My temperature was 102 still.
Holy
So
Oh wow.
yeah. So I was like, oh, I feel like I'm amazed I lived through the night. So
This is
but,
just throwing this out there, ladies and gentlemen. Stay hydrated, stay alive.
yeah, bring a cooling towel and wear it around your neck. It may not look good with your costume, but neither does a body bag. So
No.
Yeah. No, well, let's go with that.
Well,
it's my
that's the
PSA
ultimate
for
cosplay.
today.
That's your I was lost in the
Ultimate
snap
cosplay.
cosplay.
Like the ultimate cosplay, death.
Death.
Uh-huh. So, and how do they let you guys know about that? Is it how far in advance do they tell you for like those kind of events?
It varies. For some of them, we'll have a few weeks notice. For some of them, and we have, they ask, they tell us, these are the costumes we're looking for. Please tell us what you have, and we'll tell you if you can come. And we got one on a Monday for Lightyear. And I'm like, weird, we've never gotten a non-Marvel one before. This is kind of fun. And I was like, oh, I don't have any. They were asking for Toy Story costumes. Well, I have Mrs. Incredible. She's not Toy Story, but she's Pixar. And then it said, or Disney bound. And I was like, oh, here's the challenge. And one of the other gals messaged me. She's like, I just walked out of the fabric store. Should we do this? And she went back in and got the stuff. She made a really great Bo Peep Disney bound. And
Nice.
I had a green jumpsuit and a green army helmet that is eventually going to be like Captain America's blue helmet with the A. I just haven't gotten around to it. And I had my Steve Rogers dog tags. So I threw together this green army guy Disney bound, sent it in, got accepted. And Chris Evans signed the dog tags while they were around my neck.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
So
That's
I died
so cool.
and came back to life. There's some really embarrassing photos of like my genuine emotional reaction to that my friend took that I'm never going to let Ray get a hold of. So
Hey, Ray,
It could have been
I
part of
have
the
an issue
promo. Should I choose to accept it, huh?
You don't have a choice. You're going to accept it.
That's a pretty cool story.
Yeah, it was fun.
You've taken quite a few pictures with the stars of the movies and stuff, right? I mean, on the red carpet.
Yeah. A lot of
Or at
times
least
what
in the
you
background.
have to do, because it's fast, it's like they are being moved through so quick. And you kind of make an agreement with the people around you. Okay, who's your priority if you have one? And okay, you want to see Joe Smith and we want to see Sally Jones. So we'll rotate out, like, okay, here they come, get in there. Or if it's like at Eternals, Taika Waititi was there. And so many of us were like, oh. So we did a big group shot with him in front of us,
That's
and
cool.
it's just a matter of being considerate and helping everybody kind of enjoy the same experience. But I think for me, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, as a Captain Carter cosplayer, is it? That's not a spoiler. I mean, the movie's been out a while.
It's
Yeah.
on Disney Plus. If it's
On
on
Disney Plus, yeah.
it's on Disney Plus. You don't. Spoilers are not a thing anymore.
Okay, I'm in a Stephen King book group where they're literally talking about spoilers from The Shining, which I think is a book that's older than me. So, yeah, so we were there and Haley Atwell was there, and I was like, as I was dressed as Captain Carter, and we were right before they have to go into where the press is. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she gets almost to us, and there's all these like influencers clogging up the walkway. And her handler was like, we have to go through to press. And she turns to our side. She's like, I will come right back. And we know, and she may have meant it, but there's no way that's happening. It's very rare that they actually get to come back once they hit the press, because they have to do the step and repeat and all the interviews. So we were like, all right, and I was like, I'm a grown up. I'm in my 40s. It's a bummer, but I will be okay, and we go inside to the theater, and this one was in the Dolby. So this place is huge, right? And we were in the lobby, and my friend has to go to the restroom. And so I'm waiting for her. And this guy that we'd been hanging out in the pit with, who knew my friend, he's like, you should go downstairs. And I was like, well, I'm waiting for Samantha. I'm not ready to go to my seat yet. And he's like, no, you should go downstairs. And so I kind of peeked over the railing, and Haley is standing there, Haley Atwell, signing, thankfully, for a friend of mine. So it wasn't too awkward, like I was walking up in a bunch of strangers like, hi. So I go down and I stand next to Brian. I was like, hi, Brian. And she finishes signing for him and one other person there, and then she turns to me and I was like, hello. And she's like, oh, hello. And I held out my credential, and she signed it. And I was like, because everybody has a character that means a lot to them, right?
Mhm.
So Peggy Carter and her whole I know my value, anybody else's opinion doesn't matter, it has been something that got me through a lot. When you start cosplaying in your 40s, you take a lot of hits to your confidence, because you're not 20 with a perfect body and sponsorships and things like that. I'm just doing this for fun, but sometimes you kind of get caught up in that mindset. And then also, if your family isn't supportive, it can cause problems as well. And so finally, I just a few years ago adopted that I know my value, and I am a grown up. I make my money, I pay my bills. I'm going to do what I want and
Damn
not
right.
let anyone make me feel bad about it. So I just said to her really quickly, I'm like, I don't know if you know how much Peggy Carter means to so many people. I said, but she means so much to me. And thank you for bringing this character to life the way you have. And she said, she was like, oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. You look absolutely fantastic. And then I died on the spot. And then we went in to watch the movie. So I didn't get a picture with her because they lock your phones up when you walk in.
Right.
But I did have that experience, which I can't replace. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a picture's a memory, but the fact that you
yeah,
have that store and you have that experience, like you can't lose that. I mean, you can lose
right.
a picture, but you'll always have that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I imagine she had the SpongeBob Kevin moment. Like, hi, Peggy.
No, that was when Chris Evans was standing right there. That was when that happened.
Sweat glistening.
Yeah. He's like, you sure you want me to sign it? Uh-huh.
I
Those
can
are
only
actually
imagine.
those are right here behind me in the case. Yeah.
Oh. I will never wash this hand.
I will never ever.
Yes, James. It is super spooky in the room right now. Jerk. I had a question and I forgot what it was.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I have to say this in the chat right now. So Daniel Flores, he said, Raider Ray, he looks like he's about to cut an old school ECW promotion.
It's a Halloween theme. That's funny.
Be a spooky smackdown.
And James is asking in the chat, what was your first cosplay? Sorry if you answered it. He jumped in late.
Sure. My first
Perpetually.
cosplay was in 1996, and it was Dana Scully at an X-Files convention in San
Ah.
Diego,
That's awesome.
where I met my now ex-husband and father of my two amazing children. So yeah, and then I didn't cosplay for ages and ages. And when my daughter was 12, she got back into cosplaying, and that kind of got it in the back of my head that mommy wants to do this too. She was cosplaying anime stuff, still does. She's 23 now, so I
Kind of
didn't
lose
really.
track, huh?
Yeah,
Once
I
they get
started.
past certain age.
Try not to think about it. My baby is 21. I got back into it with World War II Captain Carter, or Peggy Carter from First Avenger, and that was the costume with the 50-cent skirt and
Okay.
a men's shirt I got at the Goodwill, and then I cut the sleeves and I cropped it because it just got so hot under the jacket. So sometimes you have to get creative so you don't melt. I did see another question on the screen about the inspiration for Captain Carter.
Just gonna ask you about that.
Yeah. So yes, I've been cosplaying Captain Carter since a few weeks after What If came out. As soon as there was a suit on the market, I jumped on it because I was so excited that we had Peggy back, and it was such a great twist on the story to see her as the captain, and she got the serum, and how she dealt with the colonel. And I kind of have to laugh about how they dealt with Tommy Lee Jones's character. He goes when he gets shot. That's because they couldn't get him to do the voice, but they did get Bradley Whitford to do Flynn, I think his name is, and He was a good foil, I think, for Peggy, and I just wanted to see where they would take it. And then, you know that the Vince McMahon meme where he's like, and then he like
The red
explodes.
eyes. Yeah.
That was me with the last episode of What If, the finale, when she's in the stealth suit. Because Winter Soldier is my all-time favorite movie, and I was like, so it was amazing. And that suit will be here in the next week or two. So
Nice.
yeah.
But sadly, that was the only episode that I had a critique on, was that first Peggy Carter episode.
Mhm.
But not because of the performance. It was more. I think it was a problem with the animation direction. I felt like the pace was just really off on that episode.
No, I can agree with that for sure.
Yeah, I felt like it was kind of rushed, and I didn't like that it was rushed like that because the
Yeah.
storyline was really good.
Yeah. But if you think about First Avenger, that movie spans like 4 years, but you don't really feel it.
Right.
So my favorite part of the What If with Captain Carter is now I have a reason to carry a sword. So my friend is 3D printing one for me that I'm gonna put together and finish, and hopefully have by LA Comic-Con.
Maybe we should ask your friend to get us a Wrexham jersey. He just said you have them 3D printed set from England.
We'll see.
Hey,
We'll see.
I need a Wrexham Wales jersey, please.
Oh, sure. I actually know someone in Wales. So
Oh my goodness.
I don't know them
Even
very well.
Like, hey, my Welsh friend.
Remember me, kind of?
Yeah.
I
We don't
liked
know
your
each
post
other very
last
well. It's like we don't know each other very well, but I need a Wrexham jersey.
Okay.
So, I'm sure we wouldn't be the first people asking.
That's probably true, yeah.
Yeah. But with
So-
that Deadpool with the Wrexham jersey, are you going to carry some aviation gin as well, or really complete the costume?
I am so there with you.
I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I'm probably gonna be making TikToks the entire time because
Okay.
TikTok is on the jersey, right? The
Yeah.
two things are TikTok and aviation gin. So I mean, like,
The TikToks would be amazing if you were sipping the gin as you went.
Well, dude,
oh
you
god, and I would tag Van City Reynolds in all of those.
could
He would love it.
you could absolutely just get a bottle, a generic bottle, plastic, obviously. Get the wrap and put it on there and fill it up with water. And you can stay hydrated and look. Gin looks like water.
Exactly.
It'll be totally in character.
The best thing about that is
Thanks for taking all the fun out of it, Ray.
I'll drink the gin for him. He can pour it out and I'll drink the gin.
the best thing about that is I would be like I would make it where I'd be like, this gin is delicious, and like do a TikTok with it and try to drink the gin with the mask on. So I'm just pouring water all over the mask.
It'll probably feel great though.
I love it. Please make sure I come to find you at LA Comic-Con for that.
We'll definitely be there.
We will share a drink. It'll look like you're drinking the gin out of the bottle, and I'm just pouring gin water on my
Heck
face.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
question,
drink aviation gin. It's the best.
it'll get you high. Wait, that's not
No, wait.
No,
no.
sorry, wrong type of liquid.
So apart from having to do I know you said you have to show the front, back, and side pictures. That's for like the events, right?
Yeah.
Is that
Well, for joining.
Okay, that was on a question. So what's the joining process other than showing them you show what all the cosplays you have, or is it kind of a one at a time type of thing?
Some people do send pictures for all of them. We just need one Marvel
Okay.
costume. We take non-Marvel characters. So we actually have done some events that were entirely DC characters because we have members that have those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's what the hospital or the organization wants. You know, if they just say superheroes and they're fine with a mix, then we'll have a mix. We're doing one event this holiday. It's actually 5 separate events, but for one hospital, they're doing it's a marvelous Christmas employee appreciation, like long party that is broken up into chunks for their whole staff because they have, obviously it's a hospital. They have people who work all hours.
All shifts,
so
yeah, of course.
we're going to have some starting at 9:30 in the morning, the middle of the day, one that goes 9 to midnight. And, so that one's Marvel only just because the theme is Marvel, of course. But
Marvelous.
yeah, generally speaking, one costume, and you don't have to submit when you get a new costume. That's fine. Like you've already shown us that you are a quality cosplayer.
Okay.
And now we will ask for pictures for certain visits because we want to show them to the hosts.
Okay.
We have some places that they know us and they trust us, but newer places, we want to show them what we're bringing. We're not just like, hopping down to Party City and getting that really awful Princess Leia wig that the buns are like here, and yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm doing.
Perfect. Is that going to go with the Squirrel Girl or the Deadpool?
It also fits in the theme of the character. Like the worse the costume is, as long as it's on a Deadpool costume, it fits the theme.
Yes.
No, it's going to be his Princess Squirrel Girl costume. It's going to be a mashup, just a bunch of just. It's going to be the head will be one thing. He'll have one sleeve as one thing, another sleeve as another.
No, I'm Princess Squirrel Girl. Okay, I am a Disney princess. Okay,
that's right. Now you are.
And then, so other than that, you just hope you apply online, or
yeah. So there's an app. Okay. There's a join the team section on our website, which is AvengersHQ.com. So like headquarters HQ, and we ask a few questions. You know, you have to be 18 to join. If you don't live in Southern California, we have a Northern California chapter. We have a chapter in Texas and a chapter in Hawaii. And we have individual members in different states as well. So with those members, we kind of work to see if we can build a chapter in their area. So we ask why they want to join, you know, pretty basic questions. What do you bring to the table, and what do you want to get out of this experience? And
I want to be on the red carpet.
Yeah, that's not a good answer. That's not going to get past me, at least. Because the red carpet is fun and fine. But I was having this conversation with our membership officer, Alice, and she said, you know, if you put premieres and hospital visits and visiting these kids in front of me, yay, Katie, you better sign up, because we've been talking about that for a while. If you put those two things in front of me,
hospital visits,
I would take the hospital visits every time, because
you can't replace the look on those kids' faces.
No. And let me tell a quick story about that, because we had a young man that joined last year. He actually now has moved to another state because he's going to school to be a doctor. So that's awesome for him, but I miss him. Orthopedic doctor, but sure. Oh no, he was a surgeon. Was it? Oh, wow. I don't know if he was an orthopedic surgeon, but it was his first time doing a hospital visit. He was dressed as Captain America, and he was a little nervous. And I'm outside in the hallway with our child life rep, and he goes in the room, and he and the kid are just having this whole conversation, talking away, and the dad's in there taking pictures. And I look at the child life girl, and her eyes are really wide, and they're tearing up. And I was like, is everything okay? Like, looking around, like, what happened? She's like, that little boy hasn't said more than 2 words to me the whole time he's been in here. But Captain America walks in the room, and you know,
make me cry.
Yeah. So I did tell him when he moved away, I'm like, I'm telling your story at every panel. Our membership officer actually has a story that literally makes the whole room cry, and I'm not going to tell it because I will cry. But if you come to a panel at LA Comic-Con, I bet she'll tell it. Just bring tissues. It's super sad. Yeah.
So make sure if I commit, I actually show up.
Yeah.
How do we convince you to tell this story? Because I want to know the story.
Philippe is not afraid to buy your affection.
I am not afraid.
Okay. She was in a group back east. She moved here last year, and I hope she's okay with me telling this story. I'm probably going to cry. They visited kids in hospice, which that's tough. Yeah. Because those little kids, you know that they have some very serious diagnoses. And they visited this little boy a couple times. He loved DC characters, so they dressed as DC characters, and he passed away. And the family reached out to them and asked them to come to the funeral in costume. Oh. And, you know, that was kind of conflicting from what she says, because that didn't seem appropriate. But they said, no, this is what he would have wanted and what we want. You made him so happy. And so they went to the funeral in costume and said it still felt really weird. But one of the guys got up and spoke in character. I think it was Nightwing, maybe. And then some of the characters also helped as pallbearers and carried the coffin. Wow. So yeah, that one taught me to bring tissues to every panel, because that was a tough one. But that's really the impact that we have, not just on the kids, but on the families, because of course it's terribly difficult for the kids. They're in a hospital bed. They're full of needles and tests and medications that make them feel worse. But there's family members sitting there watching this happen to this little kid. And when my daughter was born, she was born early, and she had to be in the hospital for 37 days. She was 9 weeks early. She only weighed 3 pounds. Little thing just needed to grow. She was okay health wise. That was so tough on me. I can't imagine what it would be like for people who are in the hospital months at a stretch with a kid with a very, an extremely serious illness who, truth be told, they don't know if they're coming home, right? And so to have someone walk in that room and make your little kid forget and smile for a second and just be a kid, I think that you see it on the parents' faces too. And it really means a lot to me. And we have a bunch of visits coming up just because the holidays are coming. And I'm ready. We haven't, obviously COVID, we couldn't go into hospitals. Some places we still can't go into hospitals. Others, as long as we wear masks and show that we're vaccinated, and now the flu vaccine too, just to be safe. Because of course, the last thing you want to do is make one of these kids more sick. So, since last September, we've been able to go back in small groups, like 2 people at a time, maybe 1 person at a time. So, but it's getting better now. Like we get to go do City of Hope's Halloween parade, which is outdoors. And that one's really fun because, the kids, the parents, the community groups, and then the staff, of course, the staff really likes it too.
That's awesome. That is a good story. And you did almost make me cry.
Yeah, I almost cried too. So,
So
I'll try harder next time.
Tell that better.
as long as you try, it's okay.
I tried to cry. So taking the turn. So tell us about the panels and stuff you've done, like your panel work, or how long have you been doing that for, and what brought you into doing that?
Well, the club's been doing them for quite a while. I started 2019 for Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. I was on my
You're the one that knows, not us.
No, I've been on a lot of them now, so I'm like, wait. But yeah, I think it was 2019. And then LA Comic-Con, we did 3 panels this last LA Comic-Con. San Diego Comic-Con this year and special edition, we did panels.
Cool.
Back in November. Ontario, Comic-Con Revolution in Ontario. We've reached out again to LA Comic-Con for this year, but we do 3 panels. So we have a general club panel, which is sort of like the questions I'm answering here, about a little bit of everything, right? What do we do? What other kinds of events besides service events? What is costuming about? That sort of thing. We do a service panel specifically, and what we like to do with those panels, because a lot of times when you do a panel, the panelists get a badge, right? So you don't have to pay for the con. That's a nice little perk, of course. Well, we try to invite one of our child life specialists or our contacts from the different facilities that we work with to give them that break too. They get to talk about their service, or what it means to them to have a group like ours, or say the 501st or Rebel Legion, come in and see the kids, but then they get to take a little time out and enjoy the con and spend time with their families and whatnot, enjoying the show. Like San Diego Comic-Con is such a crazy big show. And we had a representative from Ronald McDonald House and Miller Women and Children's in Long Beach that came to our panel this year. So they got to come with their families to the con and enjoy it. And that was a lot of fun. Here, Ray, I can make you cry.
It doesn't take much for me, trust me.
We did a visit at Chalk pre-COVID, and we were talking to our child life rep as we were getting ready to leave. And she mentioned that she had gotten to go to Comic-Con a previous year on a panel. And she came back and told one of the patients about it. And the patient was so excited for her because she loves comic books and Comic-Con. And our leader was like, oh, well, when Comic-Con comes around next time, obviously we didn't know that the world was going to go to hell. But when Comic-Con comes around next time, maybe we can take her as a guest. And she's like, oh, no, she passed away. And we were like, oh.
Ouch.
Oh. Yeah, so it's tough, but a lot of that also has kind of put me in the mindset of, if there's something you want to do it, because nobody's guaranteed another day. So
yeah,
it's really changed how I look at life in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of work with Project Wish Upon a Star.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and they're that's actually what Logan Dominic was supposed to be at, was at an event for Project Wish Upon a Star.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, they're that's pretty much what they do, is they get or they help terminally ill kids
Yeah.
get the con treatment. You know, like they get the royalty for a day treatment at a con.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It's like, you know, these kids who want to go to cons and really don't have a way to do it, or their parents can't do it, or they're so sick, you know, like basically they you know, they work with like Valley Medical and things like that, and
That's awesome.
they, you know, like LA Comic Con, that's what they did. Like, you know, we had a kid at LA Comic Con this last year, and she got to meet I'm forgetting his name. He plays Shazam.
Zachary
Oh.
Levi.
Zachary Levi, right? Zachary Levi, number one, is the coolest dude ever because
Yeah.
like just the
He's
way
awesome.
that he presented himself and kind of like, yeah, like, you know, they his handler was kind of like, oh well, unless you're paying, you can't talk to Zach or anything like that, and he like waves her off and is like, I'm gonna go and have a conversation with this terminally ill kid. Leave me alone.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
Sometimes you got to do that, you know?
Yeah, and he like stops everything that he's doing because he's signing autographs and everything. But his whole thing was like, you know, I'm gonna go talk to this terminally ill kid. Like, I don't care if they're not paying me for it. I agreed to talk to
Right.
them, you know.
Good for him. Yeah, I watched his panel at the one that was on the main stage there at LA
Yeah.
Comic Con. Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's super cool, you know, like
Yeah,
and he's really funny. But I mean, like, you know,
he is.
and then she like she was really into like space exploration and NASA and all that. So she got to meet an astronaut.
Oh, that's
And
almost cooler.
yeah, and they gave her like an actual like NASA patch, and they put it on a jacket for her.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I love that. Yeah, that you can't replace that kind of experience for you or for the kid, you know.
Right.
You really can't. I don't have any more stories to make you cry, Ray. I'm sorry.
Ray.
We'll see. Sorry, I was on mute. I muted myself and I didn't realize.
No, I'm saying I was gonna go, Ray. Can't make you cry anymore.
Oh, challenge accepted. Trust me.
I'll work on it.
Before I get into more grilling, Jennifer, with stuff, do we have a bracket for this evening for this episode of the build?
We do. Jack, are you ready for the bracket?
Yeah, we will probably knock it out pretty quickly.
That's fine.
So if
Well,
you
no.
guys want to keep going,
Okay, cool. So obviously, I well, not obviously. I assume with all the cosplaying and the movie related stuff and all that, are you a big movie fan
Yes,
in
I
general?
am. Mhm.
And so what formative experiences, life experiences, contributed to some of your movie loving?
See where he's going with this.
Gosh, Ray, let me think. It might be the 3 times as an adult that I worked at Blockbuster Video.
Did you not get it right the first two?
No, no, because the first time I left, it was to move to San Diego with my soon to be then husband. So we're on the fence on that one. But no, I actually started just as a regular associate and worked up to assistant manager there. So I was there for a couple years. Then I moved to San Diego and I got a different job. And then I ended up going back to Blockbuster for a little while until I twisted my ankle really bad and it like on the 3rd week on the job and couldn't do it anymore.
Was it while you were rewinding something?
Yeah, no. I was running down the stairs in my house and we had that slippery Berber carpet and I had socks on and I missed a step and landed on the ankle. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. And I was sober, which made it even worse because if I was drunk, I had an excuse. But so that didn't work out that time, which was fine. Then I got a really good office job. And then I worked for Starbucks for a long time. And I kind of got tired of it. And I got tired of pumpkin spice up my nose and, Frappuccino in your hair.
What you're into is what you're into. I mean,
yeah, hey, everybody has something, right? So Blockbuster was hiring for store managers. And I was like, And I got it. And I was living in Temecula and driving to San Diego.
Oof.
And then that was rough, but I really enjoyed it. They were still using the same system in the early 2000s that they used when I worked there originally in 1995. So
Yeah.
that was really
And they're not
impressive.
in business anymore.
I can't imagine why. I have no idea why. I don't understand it. Somewhere I still have like my they give you a
Laminated
pin
card?
on one of your anniversaries. I have a
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know. I might have my name badge somewhere. I don't think I have my membership card anymore. But yeah, they were still using
I
the
have
same
my
system.
membership card.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like a laminated one.
Yeah, because they were these horrible little dot matrix printed cards, and we had to laminate them, or else it would just shred in your wallet. But I learned a lot about movies because you're straightening boxes, and I love scary things, but I can't watch horror movies that are even remotely gory. I don't know why, I just can't do it. And as a huge Stephen King fan, you'd think I'd be able to. I can read the books, but I can't really watch most of his movies. So I would read the back of the horror boxes, and that was where all my horror knowledge came from about horror movies. And now I read the Wikipedia entries. That's how I watch horror movies.
That's funny because I'm actually the opposite. I can watch it, but I can't read it.
Does your brain make it too? Because see, my brain dumbs it down for me where it's not so terribly gory in my head pictures. But
yeah, no, I there's this one author who I really like her stories, but she gets really descriptive. And I'm just kind of like, I would much rather spend my time reading something other than very descriptive, gory things.
Yeah, there's a line.
I'd rather watch it.
But all that being said, Silence of the Lambs and Shaun of the Dead are two of my favorite movies. And
I love Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, all three of the Cornetto trilogy are amazing. But yeah, I have weird movie knowledge just from discussing movies with coworkers and customers and reading boxes. The best was when I was dusting, and I was new at the store that I was the manager of, and I stopped because there on the shelf was what was it? The 10 Commandments, the musical, starring Val Kilmer as Moses.
10 Commandments, the musical. That's a thing?
We'll have to look at it.
Starring
Val Kilmer. Yeah, that's not bury the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was obviously probably made a while ago because unfortunately, he has his throat issues. But it was just, I stopped and I was like, well, they really will make anything into a musical.
Say when.
So, yeah.
I mean, there is a Silence of the Lambs, the musical.
Yes. And there's
Rogers the Musical.
King. Yeah, Rogers the Musical is awesome. I'm so mad about D23 that I didn't get in that panel. Oh, they did the whole song on stage live.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, I for
There's
Christmas.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say for Christmas, it was for the Hawkeye launch. You had to make like a holiday element to your cosplay to go to the event. Well, I'm not satisfied wearing an ugly Christmas sweater with my Peggy outfit. So I made myself an ugly Christmas sweater that was Rogers the Musical, the ugly Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
And then I added these really terrible like Christmas light. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say really terrible because so many people told me they were really cute, but they were black leggings with like Christmas light pattern all over them. And then I added a gold skater skirt. So yeah, I kind of went all out for that. So that was my Christmas look this year, and it was very popular. Very weird.
But you hated it.
I really like it because
okay.
I'm a fan of Rogers the Musical.
There's a rumor that they're actually doing a full Rogers the Musical on Broadway.
You know what they need to do is put Rogers the Musical in the theater in California Adventure because that's right there.
Dope. That would be awesome.
By the campus.
Campus,
I would be in there all day just like.
You can watch it all day.
Again,
all day.
We could do this all day.
That's right. Oh, I'm not going to sing it though. I don't have the shield around me. No.
Since you're in, this might be a really stupid question, but since you're in Southern California, do you go to like often or?
Too often is probably what some people would say.
Okay.
I do. I really like the parks, both of them. I just went to the D23 Expo, and every night afterwards, I went to the park, including the D20, the Oogie Boogie Bash night for D23 members. Yes. My legs have finally forgiven me for that whole thing. It was a horrible weather. It was humid and hot and gross. I think if the weather had been better, I probably would have gone even harder. So it's probably best that it wasn't. I have to remind myself sometimes I'm not 26 anymore.
Ray just lost connection.
Oh no.
He probably went to Disneyland.
Yeah. He was like, I'm out here.
But yeah, I do. I love it. I love going to the parks. I like to Disney bound when I'm at the parks, whether it's a Disney outfit or usually a Marvel outfit. It just depends. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've been a pass holder for a while, magic key holder, whatever we are now. I don't know. Unfavorable attendance mix, you know.
You're not pass holes anymore. Is basically what it is.
No, we're keyholes, which is
Keyhole,
actually a
yes.
thing. So I don't know if that works.
Yeah, I
keyholes.
recently just did a deep dive on like Disney like history, both like Walt Disney and like park history. There's a YouTuber that I got really into. He does like these really deep dives into like different rides at the park and stuff like that. And
Neat.
yeah, it's really, I don't know. I was just feeling in a mood to watch it, and now Philippe and I, because we got married a month ago.
Oh, nice! Congratulations.
Thanks. So we didn't go on a honeymoon right away because we already went to Nashville in February, and then we went to Mexico in June. So we were like, okay, that's more than we've done like ever. So we don't need to go on a third trip. So we're debating on if we're not debating, but it's like we want to go to Disney World because neither of us have gone. But we're both like very like traditionalists. And I'm like, I keep wanting to just say like, just screw it and let's just go to LA. Like,
you know, I've been to Walt Disney World. Granted, it's a long time ago, and I've only been once. There were only 3 parks then, I think. So now there's 4. But there is something that Disneyland has that you just can't find. Like Walt Disney World is a big touristy park, and yeah, it has its history, right? But Disneyland is where it started. Walt walked those streets. He stayed in that apartment, and you know, especially if you did you deep dive into the windows and the names on the windows?
Yeah.
So and just that shows how much history is in like every brick of that place. So honestly, and plus I don't like humidity, so I would say go to Disneyland, go to where it all started. Walt Disney World is great. It's going to be there forever. I mean, Disneyland will be there forever, but it's just
Don't get us wrong. We've been to Disneyland many times.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Never been to Disney World.
We've never been we've been to Disneyland like we've been to Disneyland separately, and then we've gone a couple of times together. But I just was trying, like, every once in a while I get on these kicks where like I get really like deep divey into things, and I've gotten deep divey about Disney, and then I like it just kind of puts you in like that, I don't know, just it's like visiting it. Yeah. And then I was doing the I watched all of the behind the attractions again. We saw them when they came out. But yeah, it's just, yeah, it's great to me that like how that all like came to be is he, you know, Walt Disney just had this. I mean, it kind of ties into, I guess, what you were saying about like you deciding to like do Peggy Carter, and where am I? Sorry, I'm really bad at explaining myself, and I'm tired, which is no excuse. But it's inspirational in the sense of like he had an idea of what he wanted to do, and everybody told him he would fail, and one of the reasons why Philippe and I we were interested in going to Disney World was because in one of the episodes of this YouTube channel that I was watching, they were saying, oh, there's Ray. Wait, I heard him. Oh, there he is. Hello, welcome back.
Hi. Let me turn the volume down on the Facebook feed.
Anyways, I'll just wrap up that thought. But one of the things about Disney and Disney World is that when Walt Disney originally built Disneyland, he wanted everything like a certain way and a certain size. And believe it or not, which he didn't have the money to make the things the size that he wanted to make them. So like the castle is the 5/8 scale because he couldn't afford a full size one. And it's just crazy to think that Disney can literally buy anything that they want now. Yeah. At a time they couldn't, like, the reason why their park is the way it is because they couldn't afford it.
They had no water fountains when it opened.
Yeah.
Well,
And
yeah,
his shoes would sink into the
Uh,
ground.
uh,
and I think like the toilets clogged, and I think the train on the one of the trains like derailed on the first day. I did not realize how interesting the
Isn't that
the
railroad?
Disneyland Railroad was.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's a must ride.
It was like but like just like the history. But I mean, basically, he built that park so he could have his full size train set.
Yeah.
It's the whole reason why he built that park.
Yeah.
And so anyway, yeah. So that was why we were like, oh, it would be interesting because with Disney World, they built it based on the stuff that I got from this YouTube video. Was that they built it according to the original plans that Disney had for Disneyland that he couldn't afford to do.
Right.
So that was why we kind of like, yes, you know, like you said, it wasn't anywhere that he necessarily like went to, like he picked out the land and that kind of stuff, and he had an idea for it. But at the same time, it would be kind of interesting to go and see like those bigger, grander plans, like in real life. But I have kind of the same opinion about Disneyland with where like that's where it started, like that's where the magic began.
Yeah.
But who knows what we'll end up doing.
Yeah.
Plus, there's cats.
Yes. I think my favorite opening day story was that some of the plants didn't come in, so they were running out to the field and grabbing weeds and making up Latin names on the little placards. So they were just weeds, but they had these fancy names. Also, if you know the picture of the castle, and I'm pretty sure it's opening day, and there's kids running over the bridge, and one of the girls has blonde braid pigtails. She worked at the park for the longest time, and I used to belong to like a Buffy fan group ages ago, and we used to do scavenger hunts in the park. Like we would have Polaroid cameras, and certain pictures you'd have to get, and you'd have to collect certain items, and my train just derailed completely. But we were doing this.
You're talking about the lady,
blonde girl, the pigtails.
The blonde girl. Thank you. Yes.
Hey,
so
brought it back.
we could talk to cast members to answer some of the trivia questions, and we started talking to this older woman working in the Emporium, and she like showed us that picture in a book, and she's like, "This is me," and we talked to her for like 45 minutes, and it was so cool to just hear her stories of coming and growing up at Disneyland and then working there for forever and a day. So that was really cool, and I love those stories of the people who just they work there and they find their home. Ray knows how much I roll my eyes when someone's like, "I'm going home." I'm like, "No, you're going to Disneyland. Stop being a weirdo." But I, and I know some cast members, and that's truly how they feel about it. So it is a magical place, and I took my kids there, and now I get to go experience it with my sister's little kids, and sometimes I just like to. Well, most of the time, I like to go by myself and just experience, and people watch.
Yeah,
that's what I miss most about not having a pass. There was weekends where we wouldn't ride a ride. We didn't want to get on one thing. We'd people watch, maybe have a drink or seven. Walk around like it's but that's the thing. Like now I feel like if we go, I'm like, okay, we have to get our money's worth because we're paying for a single day ticket, so it's all over the place. So
this is why I raised my spirit animal.
Fun fact is George Lucas was there on the second day.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yes,
did not know that. That's the first time I've heard that.
The day after opening day.
I know my mom was there that year at some point. I just don't. Maybe in her birthday's in September, so maybe later in the year. But her grandmother took my mom and my uncle. My first trip was. Oh, do I want to say this number out loud? My first trip to Disneyland was in 1979, and I still have my first ears. Well, one of them has lost to the sands of time, but yeah, I still have my first ears. So
is that in the glass case?
No, it's in a box somewhere, probably rotting away.
Was Maynard there when you went?
Ray, why do you do this to me?
Sorry, Jackie. I totally interrupted you. Sorry, you were saying.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I don't know if my mom went in the 50s, but my mom definitely went sometime between either in the 50s or in the 60s, like when they had the tickets.
Yeah,
I don't know how long they had the tickets for, but
they had them when I went. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom went when she was a kid. You know, way back when. So
Yeah. I still have I have the pictures around here somewhere from my first trip. I need to scan those one day and send them out into the world for eternity.
As I say, and digitize them so everyone can enjoy them.
Yes, that's my plan. So
Send them out with the other picture that we're never gonna see.
no. I'll
There was a
probably
time-
I think we did post it actually, Ray. I don't know how you missed it.
Oh, okay. I'll just
I'll
have to
find
deep
it.
dive. Yeah.
I'll
Or
be
I
good.
will.
I'll share it with you.
Yay, that's
You're
great.
welcome.
Share in the distance nerding the post.
Oh,
Okay.
please, yes.
Okay.
Put it in
I
the
will do that.
post.
I will. Yes, I will do that. If I don't have the photo, I will get it from, but I'm pretty sure I have it.
There was a time so my experience at Disneyland was like I would go, like we didn't go often. I assume they must have had passes then, but my thing was I'd get to go for my birthday. So my birthday I had to go. Oh, it's just Julie says 57 or 58.
that's the years she probably went. That's my
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
So
either-
yeah.
yeah.
I'd go for my birthday, and there was the one time I went, and so I'd always get excited because I'd get to, before the night was over, buy one of those the vinyl figures that they had in the stores that you could smell for the rest of the year and play with them. There was nothing posable about them, but for whatever reason, it was the same thing like with going to the zoo. I'd get happy with those little wax figures, but
Yeah.
that was
like only like this big.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, sorry, you just jogged. So when I went, the first time I went, I was like 4, and my mom cashed out her life insurance policy and took me. And anyway,
Hey, you do what you gotta do for Disneyland, man.
That's
you
right.
do.
Whatever it
Anyway,
takes.
so she did that, and I remember getting a mini one of those, and we were watching a parade, and one of the Lost Boys came up and took it from me.
Oh yeah, you told me the story.
And my mom said she just saw me deflate like a balloon
Oh no.
because I wasn't like one of these like throw, cry, yell, scream. I was like, I've been a doormat ever since, but
Oh my gosh.
went, he took my toy.
Jackie and the way she talks about herself.
He took my toy, and my mom said, your little lip started quivering, and you just deflated like a balloon.
And they never brought it back. You just kept it.
It was
Gave
just
away to
it
someone?
was just a part of the show. But they were just a part of
That's funny.
the electric light parade or something.
Okay.
Yeah, or some parade that we were watching.
Just
I
And
punched one of
remind me at some point. I've got to go beat up a Lost Boy for taking my life.
well, segue. I punched one of the 3 little pigs in the stomach when I was a kid.
Oh, let me tell you the story of how I punched Winnie the Pooh in the back of the head.
Oh my!
Mine was a stomach shot. Good grief! You're trying to kill
Yeah.
poor Pooh.
And I was just a jackass little kid, and I'm just like, look at this guy in this costume, and just pop, right in the back of the head.
You?
I
18.
I was 15.
it was probably around then. I was a teenager.
Oh hell no!
Oh
I
no.
was an asshole. And Winnie the Pooh, I'm sure he was in character the whole time. So kudos to the dude who played Pooh, right?
If I were
Or
you,
girl.
I wouldn't
But
even tell that
Started
story.
crying and then took off running, right? And now, as an adult, I feel like the biggest asshole in existence.
Oh, you shouldn't even tell this
Facts.
story, Philippe.
Why?
Yeah, you guys aren't allowed to go in. There.
Awful.
That is awful.
Oh man.
I'm saying
I
I
mean,
feel like an asshole for what I did.
I think the worst thing I did at Disneyland is I went into one of the bathrooms at in Tomorrowland.
And didn't
And
wash your hands.
No, it was during the Mickey, like the trick or treat,
Oh yeah.
Halloween party, and I didn't have a big enough bag for candy, so I went into one of the bathrooms and I got a clean bag from
Trash bag.
from the trash bag.
I remember this.
That's like the worst Disney thing that I've done.
I remember this.
that's just being resourceful.
Yeah,
That's not.
I remember her coming out and being like, "Don't ask me where I got this bag."
Don't ask me where I got this bag from.
That's actually.
Not a
I'm,
bad
I'm
idea.
going on the 2nd of October. This is a great idea.
The other thing is usually when we go, if we take my mom, we usually have a wheelchair, so that's another place we can stash things. But,
Damn it.
Yeah. What? Did you drop something?
Yeah.
Is it this one?
Is that a piece right there?
I don't know.
No, it doesn't look like a piece.
What is
I was
that?
going to ask, how often do you step on Lego pieces?
Not very often.
Okay.
This are the room.
Eats them?
The rooms in our house are not very big. So everything just kind of stays in here.
No,
I feel that.
what happened was I was grabbing
find it?
No, I was grabbing a
Do you want me to look
piece
for it?
and I launched it as I was grabbing
Okay,
it.
I'll look for it. You guys talk amongst
It
yourselves.
seemed very
By launch, do you mean you actually launched it, or you
Did you, like-
dropped it right under your person because that's where you're looking?
It's like
Well, no.
on the seat of your chair.
Yeah.
no, it like flew behind me.
Oh wait,
okay.
hold on. Turn to your left, Phil. Yep, it's in your beard. It's in your beard. Oh boy.
Like he said, it's in my beard.
I'm scared to tell my wheelchair story because it involves myself and my wife, who were obviously adults, and Epcot, and so. But it's not the way you would think. It was she didn't need it. It was abandoned for quite some time. We saw it. We walked by it. We went around the park. We came back and it was still there. And she was like, "I'm tired." So
Literally this piece. What the fuck?
she sat in it, and I wheeled her around, making race car noises like we were, I don't know, 8, going all over the place. I never hit anyone. I was very careful not to hit anyone. And I actually we were entertaining quite a few of the people in the park because we're just acting like little kids. So I was pushing her around in a wheelchair for most of the end of the night to a couple of rides. And by that point, we had already stopped drinking. So, but it was
It's probably for the best.
yeah,
No
oh,
drinking
yeah,
and
for
driving.
sure. Yeah.
Well, I was at California Adventure, and I know plenty of people with invisible disabilities, and I don't judge anyone on a scooter or ECD, right?
Mhm.
Just as I have friends that need them, but if you looked at them, you would be like, you know, it's how some of those people get.
For sure.
Your guest.
There was an entire group of 9 people in a family, and they all had them, and I'm like,
Oh.
hold on. And they were doing like little stunt maneuvers and stuff in them, and I'm like, I don't believe you all need those.
Just throw a stick down in front of them.
One had a beer in a cup holder, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get away from this mess before it gets worse.
Yeah, it's got bad news written all over it.
Yeah.
And this is a story of how the Batwing didn't get completed.
One piece.
Seriously, it's like the one piece that connects it back to the Batwing.
Is it like the dude's piece? It just kind of brings the whole thing together.
Yes.
Oh dear.
One Lego to rule them all.
And they always send you an extra piece or two that you just don't ever need. In my
100%.
experience.
No, and every piece that I have that's extra is one that I don't need.
Yeah.
But then the one that I do need, I dropped.
So, a question: since we're filling time here, what do you have on display Lego wise? Because I'm going somewhere with this, but what do you have on display in the room there, Phil? Or is there not much?
Dude, there's all kinds of stuff up there. I've got all the Lego heads on the top shelf up there. I've got AT-AT, the Razor Crest. There's a TIE Fighter up there. There's the Slave One, Millennium Falcon.
Excuse me, what's it called again?
Slave One.
Is that canon?
It is. No, you know what? It's not. No longer canon.
Well, so where I was going with this is tell her the story of what what the table toppers were at the wedding.
Sorry, I didn't hear you, dude.
Oh, I was saying that tell her what your table toppers were at the wedding, and as it pertains to the build.
And this is all Jackie's idea. So the table toppers at the wedding were different Star Wars themed heads. So we had Din Djarin, the TIE fighter, the TIE trooper, Boba Fett, Darth Vader,
Rebel
the Rebel helmet.
Oh, nice.
And they were all Lego. They were all built on the build, correct?
Yes, every single one of them was built on this show.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna have to. Yeah, because it flew behind me when I was picking it up.
What color is it?
That's what I thought at first, but no, it's not.
It's
I'll find it some other time.
Yeah, no, that's not.
I'll find it some other time. I'm just gonna kind of jank it on here.
Sorry, I put together an IKEA cabinet this weekend. I feel you on the lost part.
Those are the worst. Those pictures are. God, she loves going to IKEA, and I just.
Me too.
It's not that I hate going to IKEA. It's that I hate the fact that if we buy something, we're gonna have to build it with those pictures that they give you.
Putting this dumb thing together was because it's glass. It's 4 sides of glass. One's a door, but on the back sides, it has this like
But it's not
2-sided strip to hold the the pieces together, the glass, and keep them like so. There's
That's
padding
it?
between them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the foam. I
Essentially,
gotcha.
and then there's
Okay.
the top and the bottom.
Okay. Okay.
In the picture, it shows you which side is which,
He
but
eats them. I
to
told
the
you.
naked eye, it looks the same.
The same. Yeah, for sure.
So for an hour, we had the strip on flipped. An hour.
Why won't this?
So I'm a pretty intelligent person.
Are
Andy,
you?
my boyfriend, is an electrical engineer.
Oh,
It
nice.
took us an hour. So we figured it out, and the next one will be much easier to build.
Hopefully.
So we have digressed like crazy, but we've got this movie bracket to do.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I told Ray I only needed like 25 minutes.
How much time do we get? I'm brand new here, apparently.
Well, it's not a regular sized bracket.
No, I meant as far as the stream. Are we?
No,
Fine,
I
too.
think we'll be done by 8 with the bracket.
Oh, okay. Well, that's 23 minutes now. So, or
Yeah.
33. Sorry, I know maths.
Maths are good.
Yes,
Numbers.
absolutely. Wee.
Okay. So since Philippe brought it up and we're about 5 minutes before, really quick, Tyler wants to know what bag number we're on. Is it
Bag number 12 of 13 right now.
Oh, he said, what bag number is the piece in? I will bring you the bag from
Oh.
my kit, Phil.
Just throw it across.
It is a part of bag.
Tyler's our neighbor, and he
Yeah.
also builds Lego.
It's a part of bag. He actually has his kit. Bag 11.
Do you necessarily?
It's this piece, Tyler, if you really want to do that.
Okay. So while they're sorting that out, we'll go ahead and get started on this worst video game movie bracket. Last week, we started out with Resident Evil, all of them, Street Fighter, Legend of Chun-Li, Max Payne, Silent Hill, Hitman, Double Dragon, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Wing Commander. You also have Street Fighter on here again versus Doom, and that's what we forgot to go up against.
So there's 2 different Street Fighter movies, and they were
This one.
both terrible.
Okay.
Do not just. Jean-Claude Van Damme is a treasure,
That doesn't mean that movie was good.
and Raul Julia.
Raul Julia was the only part of that movie that was good. Because Raul Julia, I don't think anybody could have played M. Bison as good as Raul Julia did, right?
Which movie were they in?
Street Fighter.
Okay.
Jean-Claude
Street Fighter.
Van Damme, they decided to make him not American. Guy was an American character. They decided not to make him American, and because he wasn't American, he couldn't be in the Air Force. So they made him a NATO task keeping dude, whatever. And it was only because at the time they're like, well, we think NATO is going to be big as far as like combat, so we're going to say he's a NATO peacekeeper.
So while we're on the subject of these 2 movies, Doom versus Street Fighter.
And
Which-
Doom was the movie that was supposed to launch The Rock's career, and it did not.
Which one was worse?
Was it? I mean, I know it was. Scorpion King was the first one, and the CGI was just
Terrible.
yes.
But no, so Doom was supposed to be the movie that was supposed to like make him like a big, huge action star. And it was like a couple movies after that where he became a giant, huge action star. But like Doom, the only cool thing about Doom is at the very end of the movie, they had a whole section of the movie in first person.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
I only saw it once because once was enough.
yeah, but outside of that, that movie was just awful, right? And you know who else was in that movie was
Jen knows she worked at Blockbuster. I don't know if you knew that.
Look who joined me.
Oh,
This is my moderately famous cat, Charlie. He's not famous at all.
this one's on the bed, but I know that if I reach for him, he'll just scoot right back. He'll just run right under.
Oh yeah, you got a new fur baby.
Mm-hmm.
Cat,
Oh yeah,
Cat Bo Baggins or something.
Bilbo Catkins.
Bilbo Catkins.
Aw.
Did you actually name him Bilbo Catkins?
That's his name now, Bilbo Catkins. Absolutely.
I love you so much.
It's amazing.
I'm sure Angel does not call him
She
Bilbo.
calls him Billy.
No, yeah, it's Billy. Yeah.
She calls him
I don't
Billy.
know.
I don't know
Yeah.
how you guys compromised on that as much as she didn't want that.
I don't even know how I came up. It just popped into my head. I'm like, well, that's it.
I'm naming him Bilbo Catkins, and I was like, one does not simply walk into the DeLeon residence.
Okay, so between Doom and Street Fighter,
So to be clear, are we voting as to which of the two are the better film, or which one is the
worse?
crappiest?
This movie sucked. Worse between the two.
the ultimate objective of this bracket is to find out which video game movie sucked the worst.
Which is the worst video game movie ever made.
Yes.
Copy that.
Doom was bad, but I think and Street Fighter was like one of those movies that it was so bad it was good kind of thing.
Blanca was in that movie.
Blanca was also not a giant raging monster.
That's where I'm going with this.
Dude,
yeah,
he was a dude with like he looked like a low rent version of the Hulk from the 70s.
Hey, leave Lou Ferrigno alone.
No, it's not Lou Ferrigno's fault because for Lou Ferrigno, it was like that's the best you could do at the time.
True,
Wait, is it
true.
Lou Ferrigno or Bill Bixby?
Bill Bixby was.
I can't say his name.
Bilbo. It's Bilbo Bixkykins.
Bilbo Bixkykins. Bill Bixby was.
Bixby. I can't say it.
Bill Bixby was Bruce Banner, and Lou Ferrigno was known as the Hulk. Sorry, it was David
Banner. Yeah.
David Banner.
Not the rapper.
They changed it to David Banner because they wanted to make it different for the show.
Got it. Okay.
Not the one that you think.
Okay,
Madison.
David Banner.
Philippe, what's your vote for?
I'm gonna go for the laughably terrible Street Fighter. I think Street Fighter moves on to the next round.
Yeah, we've got no one in the chat voting, so.
No, Tyler voted.
Tyler said Street Fighter.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay. Well, mine's not updating. My bad, Tyler. My apologies.
What's your vote for, Ray?
I gotta go Street Fighter 2 for
enter
sure.
it into the record.
Street Fighter for
Official.
sure.
Okay, and then
Come on, guys. We got 7 people in the chat. Come on, guys.
okay, what about
Or gals.
you, Jen?
I'm going to go based on my Blockbuster knowledge of boxes, and I'm going to say Street Fighter also.
Okay.
Doom had better artwork on the cover, if I remember.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, he did the this. Jean-Claude Van Damme did the this.
The artwork for the save.
The thing is, just because Jean-Claude Van Damme was in it doesn't mean it's good. It just means he did a bunch of splits, and I mean that's pretty much it. He did a bunch of splits.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and call this one with hearing none, seeing none, and officially closing out this first run of the bracket with Street Fighter winning that one. To continue with the recap so that James doesn't write me up,
Which he will.
he'll take away my distance nerding jet privileges.
Oh, no.
You have jet privileges?
Yes.
What the hell?
What kind of monster are you?
Come on, I don't get jet privileges. I'm on the show.
You're a nobody.
I'm on every episode.
You're just the talent.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we had Super Mario and Warcraft, Assassin's Creed versus Tomb Raider, and then Need for Speed versus Rampage. We walked away from the first round with our first round losers, I guess. Street Fighter, Silent Hill, Double Dragon. It's not. I wrote Wing, but it's not Wing. Wing Commander, Super Mario, Assassin's Creed, Need for Speed, and now Street Fighter are all moving on to the second round to find out who is the worst video game movie of all time. All right. So first up, we have.
I'm so excited we found this one. Oh no, we didn't find this one. We made this one.
No, we didn't. We found it.
No, I found a list of the top. I think it was like the top 20 worst video game movies ever, and I made a bracket out of it.
Oh, okay. All right. So first up, we have a Street Fighter, Legend of Chun-Li versus Silent Hill.
All right, I'm gonna say Silent Hill was a better movie between the two. So Legend of Chun-Li is just a terrible slog of shit. That movie does not deserve to
Where are
be
these
any-
words?
You're sugarcoating it though. I mean, I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That's saying it nicely, saying that the Legend of Chun-Li was a slog of shit. So so I'm going to here now say that Silent Hill was a better movie between the two. It definitely was a visually better movie. So Street Fighter Chun-Li moves on to the next round, in my opinion.
Okay. All right, you guys in the chat, get in your votes.
Wow.
Okay. What about you, Jen?
I would have to go with the same Street Fighter 2 because I mean, whether it's a sequel or an origin story or anything like that, I didn't mind the Silent Hill movie. I didn't like the big pointy face thing, but
Pyramid Head.
yeah, I'm not good with body horror, which that kind of, I'm such a
Oh.
wuss. I'm sorry.
Make sure you go to Horror Nights then.
No, I did that once for my friend for her 50th birthday, and I love
Never
her,
again.
but never again. No.
Is that at Universal?
Yeah.
Yes.
Give
what-
me Oogie Boogie Bash. Don't give me the scary things trying to attack me. But
What
yeah,
was-
I think
What was that movie with Vincent D'Onofrio and Jennifer Lopez? That movie was
The Cell?
The Cell. That movie was horrifying as far as visuals go.
yes. It's beautiful though, like just stunning,
Yes,
but
she is.
terrifying. I meant the movie.
Oh yes,
right?
that's what I. Yeah, absolutely.
Not
Uh,
Jennifer Lopez, but she is. But
Jennifer Lopez, I think, is a whole different kind of nightmare.
Yeah.
she's
Hellraiser.
Ben's
That's
nightmare
fair.
now, not ours.
That's
so
fair.
Yeah, exactly.
They're each
Hellraiser is another
other's
one.
nightmare.
Yes.
Because let me tell you something. I watch a lot of Jennifer Garner stuff, and let me tell you something. She is not crying over spilled milk.
No.
Hellraiser is another one of those movies that's like, visually just destructive.
Yeah.
I
right,
don't
I'm
think
gonna-
I've seen those yet.
What's your
Yep.
vote?
I'm gonna vote for the slog of shit.
All right.
That wasn't one of the choices.
Oh, yeah, it was slog of
Legend
shit
of
Lee. Slog of shit Lee.
Oh, okay.
Slog of Shitley. That's what we're gonna call this.
All right. And no one is in the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and call this one with just good thing we only have 3 people on tonight that are not on, but like as guests. So I'm going to go ahead and call that one with Street Fighter.
I'm surprised that people are watching it and not saying anything.
Well, that's good. I mean, sometimes I watch you. A lot of times when I'm watching the download, I just have it on when I'm like doing dishes. I can't really participate, and I just listen. All right, next up we have Double Dragon versus Wing Commander.
Oh God, both terrible movies.
Double Dragon.
I don't think I saw Wing Commander.
I don't think I knew it existed.
Commander.
Good, because Freddie Prinze Jr. and
My vote's in.
Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard were in that movie, and they both
that-
regret making it.
My vote's in.
That tells me all I need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both regret making it. Like basically Freddie Prinze Jr. with all the movies that he's made in his
talk
career.
amongst yourself, because Tyler's bringing the piece over.
Okay,
Copy that.
with all the movies that he's made in his career, has literally said there's one movie he regrets making in his entire career, and it was Wing Commander.
Sheesh.
Even at Blockbuster, I don't remember this movie. Cleaning
Sheesh.
shelves all the time.
Double
Yeah,
Dragon
that
has
must
a
be
kid
about
from Party
99.
5.
Matthew, or the kid.
Well, not the kid, but the younger one.
Oh,
What's his name? Bailey? Is his name Bailey?
sure. That
So
show was depressing.
I guess what Freddie Prinze Jr. said in an interview was he can. What Freddie Prinze Jr. said in an interview was they got the script for Wing Commander because it's it was a game from the 90s, if you're unfamiliar with what it is. And he played the game, he loved the game, right? And actually the game was starring oh my god, that's adorable.
My heart just leapt.
Yep, that's it. The game or the game was starring Mark Hamill,
Oh, okay.
right? And it was one of the first games that had you played the game, but then it was live action in between cutscenes,
Oh,
right? So
Yeah.
Mark Hamill played the main character in the game, and when Freddie Prinze Jr. saw that they were making a movie, he jumped at the chance, read the script, and loved the script, right? Said that the script was actually really good, and it was going to be a good movie. The day they get on set, they're given an alternate script.
Oh boy,
That's never
and
good.
yeah,
that
and
always ends well.
the entire movie changed and was
no.
nothing to what they read and signed on for it to be.
The old switcheroo, eh?
Yeah, so they switched the entire movie,
Oh, no.
and they still ended up filming it. They still put it out, and he said that it was the worst experience he had on the set.
Who is this?
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh,
All
wow.
right. Tyler voted Double Dragon.
Yeah, so and now Double Dragon is another movie that is just so terrible. People didn't even realize they made that movie.
Well,
I
they rented
know I
it a
saw
lot.
it.
Huh?
You rented it a lot, like rented
They
it out.
it rented out a lot for
Oh.
kids. Yeah.
Why
Like,
would you
Because it's
rent
Double
it so
Dragon.
many
oh
times?
no, no, not me. No, I
Yeah.
I would waste a free rental on that.
Yeah. It's because it's Double Dragon, and a lot of
Right.
people grew up playing the game, and it's like, oh, well, the
Yeah.
movie can't be that bad. That was one of those movies that was so bad they like it wasn't even direct to DVD. Like they were just like, oh yeah, this sucks. We're not even gonna tell people that we made it.
Yeah. Yep.
I may have seen that in the theater. I'm not sure.
It was in theaters for a short amount of time, and just because
No, I know. I'm trying to remember how I watched it. I can't remember if I saw it in the theater or if I actually was one of the renters.
I want to say that movie, like it went like a week without anyone going to see it. So they
Oh no.
so they ended up pulling it out of theaters because like literally no one was going to go watch that movie. The ratings were really bad and everything like that. So I mean, like this is a tough one because they're both shitty movies.
Yeah. Well,
Double Dragon's problem was the acting was really bad. At least Wing Commander had decent acting. Just it was just so bad of a script that it was just bad.
It had Fred and Shaggy in it.
Exactly. And this is in '99, so this is right after they did.
I know what you did last summer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're going to space.
like we're gonna fly these things, Scoob.
One was in Scream, and the other one was in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Right.
Yes. And they were both in Scooby Doo.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
Was Sarah Michelle Gellar in Scooby Doo too?
She
Yeah.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
played
And
that.
I know she was.
who played Velma? The girl that plays Hawkeye's wife. Why can't I think of her
She's
name?
the chick from ER for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what her name is.
She was in Freaks and Geeks. Linda Cardinelli.
Yes.
Cardellini.
Carlini.
Linda C was in it.
We'll go with that, yeah.
Yeah, Linda C.
Really quick, I just wanted really quick. I just
Scott, well, thank you.
I just wanted to shout out Susan for giving me a shout out. That's really, it's
Thanks for saying hi to me.
Yeah, just me. I'm special.
Oh, hey, Susan.
It's Philippe and I's friend's mom.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Hi, Susan.
Okay. So Double Dragon vote, one for Tyler, one for Jim. Okay. So what Jen, what is your
Jenny.
one?
I have no say on the quality of either. I'm gonna have to go with Wing Commander because I didn't even know it existed.
Okay. That's a fair assessment.
That is a fair assessment.
What about you, Ray?
That's gonna be mine. I just if
Commander?
Freddie Prinze Jr. hated it so bad and he was in it, I got to go with that one.
And that's kind of how I see it, right? Is like if you were in a movie and you hated it so bad that you regret making it.
It's a bad sign.
Isn't that what Bill Murray said about Garfield?
I hope
Yes,
so. That was
He did say
awful.
that he hated making Garfield. He said
Who?
he hated that movie.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Mm.
Bill Murray regretted making that.
Philippe,
movie.
what's your vote for to break the tie?
Wing Commander.
Oh, shoot, blood.
I mean, Double Dragon is equally as bad, but I mean, like,
All right. Anybody in the chat, you want to tie this back up?
Sorry if
Going
I'm in and out of
once.
frame. He's letting me pet him, so
Going twice. Sold for Wing Commander. All right. Up next, we have Super Mario versus Assassin's Creed.
Again, hated both of those movies, but I am gonna go with Super Mario.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Oh,
Oh, hello,
Cat Bo Baggins.
Bilbo Catkins.
Bilbo
Bilbo
Catkins.
Baggins. Shoot, I'm gonna get that right one day.
Bilbo Catkins.
Is it already like spayed and neutered?
Yeah. So we rescued him from the shelter. So all he's microchipped, spayed. So I think we have to just take him
He's a
for a
boy?
set of shots. Yes. She was very adamant. She wanted a boy orange cat.
They're very mellow. Well, I've always had boy cats, and they're very mellow. Charlie's
the
a little
one-
weird, but
The one we had it was he was very lovable.
yeah.
I can't say I've never had like house cats. Like growing
Ever
up,
had cats?
we had feral cats, like
Mhm.
canyon cats.
Canyon cats.
They lived in the canyon. Smokey,
Candy cats.
Smokey was a bad bitch. Let me just put it that way. But then when I lived at home, my parents had they were foster failures.
Oh yeah.
They fostered 6 cats and they kept 3 of them. And that was part of the reason. What am I trying to say? That was when I started sharing a bathroom with 3 cats. That was kind of my like, hey, maybe you should think about moving out, Jackie.
That was a hint.
That was a good probably a good assessment.
Yeah, and I mean there was a lot of things. Like, I mean that wasn't the only thing, but like I tell people, I'm like, yeah, when I started sharing a bathroom with 3 cats, then I started thinking about maybe it's time to move out.
Yeah.
That and Philippe moved to Sacramento, and yeah, the rest is history.
Charlie
You're-
felt left out apparently.
Oh,
You're originally from the Bay, right, Jen?
Yeah, I was born in San Mateo.
I know this because she posts those ugly orange and black things during baseball
Stop.
season.
I mean, you're a Dodger fan, and the Dodgers just generally suck. So
I'm the minority. That's the only reason why I said that, because both of them are too. So
I feel better now. Thank you.
I'm from San Francisco, so
I was born in Burlingame, but we lived in San Mateo, and then my grandparents and great grandmother, they lived in San Francisco. They actually lived right by USF, University of San Francisco, and I ended up going there for a little while, so I could walk and see my grandma's house, and then walk the other way and see my great grandma's house. It was pretty cool.
nice.
have you ever so this is like the only thing I can really like officially like speak of and talk about as far as like my nerd scene is it has nothing to do with like comics or anything like that. I
He's
really
sexy.
like researching old houses
Okay.
and finding out about just being nosy and finding out about people that lived in really old houses.
That's cool.
I did a bunch of research on Philippe's brother's house, which was his grandparents' house, and it was in San Francisco. It's in San Francisco. It was built in 1920. So I know a lot about one family that lived there, and then I know a couple of things about like the original like owners. And then one of the doctors I used to work for, she bought a condo, which I think was probably at one point probably a house, but now it's a condo. It was built in 1896.
Oh
Um,
Sheesh.
and so I did a bunch of research. I think the records for I like to go back to like the original owners, and I like to think about like, why did this person in 1896 buy this house? Like, what kind of person were they? Were they, like, and just like learn about them? So I haven't been able to track down the original owners because I think a lot of that information was probably lost in the earthquake.
wow.
But I was able to find out about these one owners that lived there for like 60 years. And they didn't really have like remarkable lives. I think they were quite boring people. But one of the really cool things is that I found like census records and different documentation that alluded to the husband. They lived together for like they got married in the house. They lived in the house for like 60 years. But there's all this documentation that he worked for different newspapers San Francisco
okay.
News, the Chronicle, the Recorder, that kind of stuff. And anyway, so I had all this information and I went and visited her, and I kind of like told her, about the stuff that I found, and they're doing remodeling, and they found all this stuff in the walls. Not like, I mean, there was like a hat pin, and then there were
Not bones.
well, no. when she was telling
That would have
me,
been cooler.
Too much true crime.
she told me that she found newspaper clippings in the walls, which is not like unusual or whatever. But she told me that she found newspaper clippings, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." But then when I was there, we were talking, and I opened up the box. They were collection receipts from, and I know they were from the 30s, because in the 30s,
Wow.
this guy, that's what he did, is he collected like the money from the people who had, because she couldn't understand why the address on the slip wasn't her address, and it was because it's this little slip of paper that the person who collects the money, like, this is what they go by, and they go and they collect the money. And so I was telling her about it. She's like, yeah, but I thought like kids like sold newspapers back then, and I
Too much
didn't really know.
newsies.
So I really didn't know how to answer that question, but ironically, I listened to a podcast the next day where it was talking about the Triangle Shirt Fire, which is totally far removed from what we're talking about, which is like the birthplace of like OSHA. But
Yeah.
but anyway, it talked about
I was
how
in New York, right?
I don't know, but it talked about how
Cut it out, Phil.
it talked about how kids would they would buy the newspapers outright, and then they would go out on the street, and they would that's how they got their that's how they got their money, that's how they got paid.
Their money for their tobacco and sex.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, so that kind of gave me like, oh, well, the reason why, it was this guy's job to go to these addresses and like collect the money, but I was able to like date it because that's what his job was, like in the 1930 census, I think.
Neat.
So it had to be like in the 20s. But anyway, so that's the reason why I brought that up, is because you said that your grandparents lived, and I was just wondering if like I don't know, I just wanted to bring it up.
Did they were they paper subscribers is where we're going with this?
No, I just am curious. I'm just
Probably.
curious. Like, did they own their home? How long did they live there? Like,
as far as I know, they owned it. They lived there when my mom was little until they both died in 1981, 82. So they did. And my great grandmother owned hers as well, over on Geary. She lived right on Geary Street. And where were you when I was running a ghost hunting team? I couldn't find a historian like you to save my life. You would have been invaluable.
Wait. Go. No, you please, Jackie, go.
Oh,
Yes.
no. Go ahead, Ray.
I was in this. No, I'll finish what you're saying, because all I was going to say, wait, you ran a ghost hunting team, but.
Yeah, and then there's actually this book that I'm reading now. It's called like Ghost. I don't know what it's called. It's like called Ghostland something. I can look it up. But anyways, I'm reading it right now, and it's the first part of it is talking about like pivotal like houses, like haunted houses or whatever.
Mhm.
Actually, I'm not going to get into this because we do have
a whole other show topic.
We do, and Philippe and I are planning a Halloween special where I'm going to talk about these things.
Ooh.
So tune in and look in for that. But
So I should have the lights off for that one.
Yes.
But-
You have your
but
spooky
what
lights on.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that this particular book, it talks about the Winchester Mystery House. And it also, are you familiar with the
I was going
Toys
to ask if
R Us?
you've been there.
Oh yeah, the one in Colma.
Not the one in Coleman, the one
Well-
in Centerville.
Well, okay, yes.
How like it's supposedly haunted.
We would visit it on the way to my grandma's grave in Colma. Yes, so I have been to the one where Sylvia,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
the psychic lady with the big white hair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Speaking of psychic, you guys are finishing each other's sentences in your own head. So
I am familiar with that Toys R Us.
Okay.
Yes.
So anyway, so I'm reading a couple different kinds of books, but all kind of like spooky Halloween, and we're gonna do like a whole like I want to do like a whole like Halloween special with like a lot of different things, not just books. But anyway, but that's a preview. But yeah, we do have this. I can't remember how I started going off on this tangent.
You said it's the thing you're nerdy about.
Oh yes,
Oh,
because
that's right. Yeah, I like to know that. Yeah, that's good.
because you said that your that's right, because you said that your grandparents lived in San Francisco, and Ray had asked if you were originally from the Bay Area, but I don't remember where you were going with that.
Have you been to the Winchester House, Jack? Yeah, I assume yes.
I have not.
Really?
I actually have a really fun burning fact that I want to tell you guys right now, but I'm saving it for
Save it
my
for your
Halloween special.
Well, I mean, Phil made her tell her story doesn't make her cry.
Jackie's like, it's not happening right now. You're gonna have to.
I know she's gonna stick to her guns real tight.
I really feel like it'll be worth it. I think it definitely will be worth the wait to have
Feel
everything
this is real.
together. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to
Okay, so I guess we should get back to this bracket.
it. Whatever.
All right. I have Phil voted some
What
a
do you mean?
couple people in the chat voted Dennis Hopper as King Koopa.
Dennis
Oh,
Hopper played King Koopa in the
And Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
movie.
I like Dennis Hopper.
There's nothing against Dennis Hopper.
No, not at all.
Definitely
Yes.
a lot of things against that
Can
character.
you not? Sorry.
Oh,
She's trying to knock down the
I thought you were
microphone.
talking to Philippe.
No. That's enough, dude. You've gotten comfortable.
Yeah, you were like, oh, he's hiding now.
Yeah.
Look what you
Uh-huh.
wished for.
She's trying to get on the table and knock over the microphone because it's got a blue cord on it.
Oh,
Well, so my mom's boss, the lady that she lives with and takes care of for like the last 20 years, she's psychic, and I guess she did a seance at the Winchester Mystery House.
Oh,
I will have to talk to Jeannie more about that.
okay. On the Halloween show as a teaser.
Yeah.
We went when we were in we went like 2 years ago or something like that. And we didn't go to, I guess they had like a tour that goes in the basement. So they have the basic tour, like you walk around and do the tour, but then they have also like ancillary tours where you can go underneath or in the basement. They have a nighttime tour, like a candlelit tour. So there's once in the house enough, but I would go back for some of the other stuff that they do.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm really trying not to get distracted by that because
We'll see.
that's the stuff that I nerd out on. Like after we get off of this, I'm gonna go read my book.
There's
Okay.
nothing wrong with that.
No. Okay, so I have 3 for Super Mario, including Phil. Jen, what is your vote?
Super Mario Brothers.
Okay, what about you, Ray?
Ooh. What are my choices again? Super Mario Brothers and the Tangent kind of threw me off. Was it
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed? I kind of liked Assassin's Creed, so I'm going definitely Super Mario.
Okay, all right.
You
So,
liked Assassin's Creed?
I didn't hate it.
what did you like about it?
I didn't hate it.
What'd you like about? I don't remember. That's really his answers.
Well, truthfully, it is that. I remember watching it. I remember not hating it, but there's nothing memorable about it that I can say, "Oh, this was." Got to see that again. I just remember not hating
I
it.
gotta watch this again. So good.
It's kind of like the reboot of the Tomb Raider reboot. Like it was okay, but I didn't hate it.
Fair.
Nothing
That's
memorable,
fair.
but I just for what it was, I wasn't expecting anything that was going to win an award. You know,
It's probably good because
yeah, it's definitely not.
It definitely.
May have won a Razzie.
It's true. I think it did win a Razzie actually.
Yeah. Nice.
Super Mario Brothers.
No, Super Mario Brothers definitely won a Razzie. I think the Razzies were made because of the Super Mario movie.
All right. So next up, we have Need for Speed versus Street Fighter. Oh, we're gonna go a little over.
That's fine. Need for Speed versus Street Fighter. Both terrible movies.
yeah.
Need for Speed was so bad.
I like Need for Speed because of the realistic nature of the races that they had. That was my thing. That's what really drew me into that movie. Should I have inserted a sarcastic voice, a more sarcastic voice?
It's like,
I was gonna say
you had me at the beginning.
those races because those races were terrible.
Yes. Who's going first? Who's on second?
It's on third.
Yeah, I don't know. It was on.
I never made it all the way through Need for Speed, so I'm gonna give that one. That gets my vote.
Street Fighter or Need for Speed? Which
I
one?
think I saw Need for Speed at it was like the second movie at a drive-in. So that's how I. Really? Is that what we're doing now?
Yes,
That-
it's
that-
so
that-
cute.
He's gonna end up on my shoulder.
You gotta nip. It's cute now, but you better nip it in the bud.
It doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother
Okay.
me.
All
There
right.
he goes. See, he's fine.
So I am
what's
gonna
yours?
go for. Man, Street Fighter was kind of quotable.
It's fair.
So, just Need for Speed is such a non-memorable movie. Like, there's just like that movie literally tanked. What's his name's career from Jesse Pink, who's
Aaron
doing-
Paul.
Aaron
Aaron
Paul.
Paul.
Yeah.
Not like
That's the only thing I can think of. Remember of that movie.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it tanked Aaron Paul's career until he, like, he's getting a resurgence right now because he was in Westworld, and that's it.
Yeah,
So-
it's nothing to do with Breaking Bad.
Well, but I'm saying his resurgence right now is
Yeah.
because he killed it in Westworld, and
Did.
he got a chance because he did get because he did El Camino. So I mean, like that
I'm
kind
sorry,
of
who now?
El Camino,
Camino.
the Breaking Bad movie.
Oh, El Camino.
Yeah. So
Danny was on Better Call Saul. There, Ray. Are you happy?
That's her jam.
But I mean, like,
Oh,
those like small things have been like helping him and recovering him from that shitty movie.
What's your vote for?
She's like, move it along, move along.
Move along. The worst of the two movies is going to be Need for Speed, so I'm going to go Need for Speed on this.
Okay, what about you, Ray?
That's Need for Speed, definitely science.
Okay, gonna go ahead and
Science.
call that one with Need for Speed. All right, now we go down to the final two, which is gonna be Wing Commander versus Street Fighter something Chun-Li.
It's slog of Lee.
Slog of
Slogos.
So we said
Oh, slog of Shitley. I'm sorry.
Yes.
My apologies to
Street Fighter
the
versus what?
writers.
versus Wing Commander.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck. I mean, these are both movies I would never recommend anyone to watch. Like, I mean, if you want to torture somebody with the worst thing you've ever seen,
I've seen neither.
one of these two movies.
I like how Philippe said Street Fighter. Or no, never mind. Philippe has two different Street Fighters on here, and both of them are in the final four.
Because they're both really bad movies.
Okay, so Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li versus Wing Commander.
Legend of Chun-Li was so bad. None of the characters had anything to do with any of the Street Fighter characters. Aside from Chun-Li is, she works in Interpol, which is what she does in the thing in Street Fighter in the game.
For the rental car company?
What?
Yes, Ray. Interpol, the rental car.
Oh,
Isn't there-
I heard a
we'll
different
get you there.
I don't know what we're talking about here.
It's Enterprise. It was a.
I was trying. I didn't even know which one you were alluding to. That's why I was sitting here going, I don't know. I'm missing something.
Ultimately, I'm gonna go Legend of Chun-Li on this.
All right. What about you, Ray?
I still got to default to the. I hated this movie. I wish I never made it, so I'm going with Wing Commander.
All right.
Since I've seen neither one of them, that's going to sway my vote.
I mean, that is a pretty good like rule of thumb is when the actor who made it says,
Yeah.
I hated this fucking movie and I wish I never made it.
Yeah, 100%.
What about you, Jen?
I'm gonna go with Wing Commander.
Okay. All right. Gonna go ahead and call that one with Wing Commander.
Although it would have been cool to see Street Fighter versus Street Fighter.
Yeah, I know, right? I didn't even think about that possibility, to be honest with you. All right.
Slog
Yeah.
of shit
How bad
versus
it is.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
The worst movie ever made was a Street Fighter movie.
All right. Next up, we have Super Mario Brothers versus. Oh wait, just kidding. That was not in the final four. Just kidding.
Super Mario Bros. Was.
No, Street Fighter wasn't. It was Need for Speed, that one. Sorry, I looked at it wrong. So we have Super Mario Brothers versus Need for Speed. Which one was worse? Go.
Super Mario.
Super
You heard
Mario.
like no hesitation in that, right? Like no Super Mario.
Okay, I got 2 for Super Mario. What about you, Ray?
Bob Hoskins in Super Mario.
Bob Hoskins, Super Mario.
May he rest in peace.
God,
Yes.
Bob Hoskins, why?
And John Leguizamo.
And John
Yep.
Leguizamo, like so bad,
All right, now we are
so bad.
for the record. The final 2 is Super Mario Brothers versus Wing Commander. Which one was worse?
Oh shit!
That's
And it cannot end in a tie.
Can they equally be as bad?
Wait, can they be Wing Commander brothers?
No.
Super Mario Commander.
Yeah.
Mario Commander.
All right, which one was worse, guys and gals?
Oh my god.
Hmm.
What do you say,
Still no
Charlie?
input from the chat, huh? Yeah, Charlie, what do you say?
Tyler voted Mario, but that was for the previous Mario
Copy that.
because it came up when I was talking. So
Oh,
I
man.
appreciate that Mr. Prince did not enjoy his experience making Wing Commander. However, Super Mario Brothers commercials gave me nightmares, so I'm gonna go with that one.
was it because the Goombas were just the scariest looking things
all
ever?
of it, just all
Those
of it.
turtles were just frightening.
Oh god, the Goombas were so bad.
And I grew up playing that game. I was so excited, and then I was horrified.
It was really, it was almost as bad
bad.
as a Super Mario cereal.
all right.
It was
No,
bad.
was it worse than the Super Mario cartoon though?
Oh,
Did you not know there was a cereal, Jen?
no,
I saw that look,
missed
inquisitive
that.
look.
I
Yeah, they
missed
had a
that.
cereal
Oh,
right around the same time
Sometimes
they had
they just shouldn't
Nintendo
do
cereal.
that.
The
Oh, yeah.
Super Mario cartoon. What was funny about that is they didn't like they weren't Italian at all. Like Mario was definitely from like he sounded like a greasy dude from Brooklyn. We gotta go save the Mushroom Kingdom.
Well, aren't they redoing a Super Mario Brothers movie with Chris Pratt as Mario?
And Chris
Oh,
Pratt said he's
geez.
not doing
No, that would be
An
horrible.
accent.
he's not doing Martin's voice, you know. So it's like you
Yeah.
know
Martin's
the actor who plays
Oh.
Mario.
got it.
Oh.
Let's go. It's me, Mario.
All
I
right.
don't
He's
think
not
that would
doing
be a
it.
good idea to do that.
No,
yeah.
that'd be bad.
All right, Ray, what's your vote? Which was worse, Wing Commander or Mario?
I know what I said about Wing Commander, but also Goombas. Hey, it's my turn to talk.
He's telling you the answer.
Oh, Wing Commander or Super Mario Brothers? Wing Commander?
Of course, when we need the answer, he's
Yeah,
quiet.
exactly. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
She's got stage fright. Good grief. I have to stick to the my wing guns.
Sticking with Wing Commander.
Yeah. It's I mean it's 1 and 1A. I gotta tell you, it's
All right, want to be the tiebreaker? Oh no, Philippe, you get to be the tiebreaker this time.
Oh shit! Daniel Flores said Wing Commander hands down.
Oh man, okay,
I said Mario, so I mean,
it's okay. So we're tied up. Come on, Tyler, we need you to be the tiebreaker.
he's a Tyler Breaker.
Be the
Tyler breaker.
Tyler breaker.
oh my god, that's gonna be his official name at cons now.
Who
Me-
bring it to a vote? We have a
Like
Tyler
me-
Breaker.
The Tyler Breaker.
And just smash Legos from his own set.
From his own set. I like how you were
Yeah.
specific about
Yeah.
Very specific about that. Yeah.
Well, because Philippe, he'll just Deadpool will cry
oh yeah,
into his bottle of aviation
Gin.
gin. Yeah.
100% and in character.
All right.
I would be crying.
The Tyler breaker voted Mario.
Oof.
So the winner.
The winner and reigning champion is Super Mario Brothers.
As a bonus, we should do a watch together on I know there's an app, not Twitch, but there's a one where you can all watch them together. Watch Super Mario Brothers.
So if Mario was on
Didn't-
Netflix, we could do it on Netflix.
Didn't what's his face just do what's his name? I can't. Brian Permison.
Oh yeah, Ryan Permison.
What was that movie you guys?
We
watched?
just did a watch through of Captain Ron.
I don't
Oh,
hate Captain Ron. I like Captain Ron.
it's a good movie. I mean,
Mhm.
it's not the worst movie on the shelf, but
I don't think they were watching it because it was worse. It was just a movie that they did a
He
watch
does
along together.
he does 30th anniversary watch-alongs.
Oh,
Hmm.
cool.
So we did a watch-along for Captain Ron because it was released 30 years ago.
Where was he at my birthday when I was released 30 years ago?
What was
I
that?
was
10
out-
years ago?
I was trying to come up with something clever, but couldn't.
Got nothing.
But
No.
yeah, no, because I do want to set up a Netflix watch along because we haven't done one since Heroes, dude. But I mean, like, I definitely want to do a Netflix watch along, but I gotta ask, like,
But ask somebody.
well, I gotta ask the Nerdington Post, like, you know, what do people want to watch?
Hey, Philippe,
Yes.
you got a
Wrap
5
it
minute.
up, B.
No, I know. I'm finishing up on this wing right now, and then we're gonna
Play-
put it
Can you
away.
play the Oscars music, Jackie? Wrap it up.
Wrap it up, B.
Oh my God, that's what we need to put on here is the freaking Oscars music.
So you thought you were gonna finish the Batwing, right? Did you not finish it because you flung a piece, or is it just that you
Because I
didn't make
flung
it
a
through?
piece and fucking spent an hour trying to find the piece.
Which of course you'll find after you go off the air.
Literally, I'm gonna find it as soon as I go off air. I'm gonna walk up and be like, oh, there it is. Look, it's right
Probably
there.
gonna step
Just-
on it.
There's a morbid part of me that hopes it fell on your shoe and you're gonna take a step. Like, there it is.
That would be nice if he was wearing shoes,
Yeah,
Oh,
Oh.
ew.
I'm shoeless right now.
which is why he'll probably step on it.
Exactly.
Shoeless Phil.
No, I call him Fred Flintstone.
Because I have Fred Flintstone feet.
He has.
Well, at least she didn't call you a hobbit.
You got the hobbits covered.
I called my friend a hobbit today. She was eating Taco Bell like in the corner. Like this and eating
Like
Taco Bell.
Gollum.
You look like a hobbit right now.
Was she having 11sies?
No, she was having
Second breakfast.
Third breakfast? So check this out, guys. This is the progress on this now. Things.
Oh, wow.
So
Show us the missing piece, or is it covered now?
it's covered now. It's like up here. There's like there's a flap right
There's
here.
something really wrong about that.
So you see this wing flap right here?
Mhm.
Yes.
That it was one of the pieces that holds the wing flap on.
Uh,
But we have the cockpit now. We have the front of the bat on here. I've got the little chain guns on the front right here. There's also a little mini gun on the front of the plane right here. Because Michael Keaton's Batman apparently killed everybody.
this is Batman Returns, right?
No, this one's from the original Batman.
The original. Oh, okay.
Looks like eventually there's rocket launchers that I put on here too. I just put the like the other wings on the top of here. Right. So I mean, yeah, this thing, it's massive, right? But I mean, it's fucking beautiful. I love this thing so much right now. So this is
Why don't you marry it?
because I married you already.
Oh man.
Oh man.
But
Should
I
have waited him out, Jackie.
I know, right? I
I
haven't done that in a while, babe. But no, I'm going to. So I'm
Hang it from
definitely
the ceiling.
this next week. I'm not gonna. There's actually a wall mount that comes with this. But I'm going to finish this next week, which means starting in October, I get to start the.
the friend set.
No, actually, I've been talking shit about. We've been talking shit about Mario this entire time, and the next thing I'm building is the question box for Mario
On the friend set.
on the friend set. Actually, we do have the friend set. I probably do have to build that.
No, the thing is, it's okay. There's a super secret story about the friend set.
There's a lot of secrets going on for Halloween.
Did you do the history of it and find out who owned it originally, or?
No, I know who
Kind
owns
of.
it.
We know originally. We're not going to say the kit stole.
Let's just say
but
it was refuse. Let's just put it that way.
somebody threw.
You
it away.
rescued it.
Yes.
Yeah, I rescued
Yes.
it.
Exactly.
You
what we
rescued
did.
it. Very good.
Has it been spayed or neutered?
Oh my god, I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that because have you guys watched that show, The Perfect Bit? Not show, it's a documentary, The Perfect Bit or something. Have you guys seen it?
Mm-mm.
About that guy who he like
What?
studied and studied and studied and studied Price is Right for like
Oh, I've heard about it. Now that you
Oh yeah, I've
describe
heard
it.
of it, but I haven't seen it.
It's on Netflix.
and anyways, I was watching it. I watched it when I think I might have watched it when we had COVID, which was like back in May. And
I've seen that twice now.
The documentary?
I've had COVID twice now.
Oh, anyways, yeah. So I think I watched it when we had COVID. But anyway, it talks about how at the end of every show, Bob Barker would say, "And remember to spay and neuter your pets." And every single time, or not every time, but very frequently when I'm on the show, I'm like, why don't I end it like that? Like, why don't I say that?
Remember to spade and neuter your pets.
'Cause I don't-
Spade and neuter Bilbo Catkins.
Spay and neuter your Bilbo Catkins.
If I spade him, I don't think he'll survive it.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and switch cameras here.
Okay.
That way we can do our little
Turn off the air, people.
Our closing business.
our little
as Greg-
closing business.
We
You
got
got
merch,
my
people.
head just starting there.
I'm falling.
Can you get up?
My hat. Look at that. Go here. Killer kill.
Ooh, I have a different chair this time around. That's why I'm way more bouncy.
What was I doing? Oh yeah, I'm changing cameras.
Bouncy Jackie.
The other one sitting because the other one's sitting for too long. My hips get really like stiff and sore after sitting here for 2 hours. So I switched over to my yoga ball, and I definitely am more comfortable. I'm just more bouncy.
You know, you also know what I didn't do this entire time. I had a whole banner for you here.
For
Drink
what?
Debbie.
No, for Jennifer. I had a whole banner set up for her, and I never switched it.
Oh.
Slacker. That's what you are. You're a
Now
slacker.
that just makes me feel like a jerk.
Well, you already said you're an asshole.
No.
Yeah, and Jackie will attest to you that I am a jerk.
Oh, I can detect. I mean, 2 out of 3.
All
Is
right.
it a new bracket? Wait.
I don't even know what we're going to be doing next week, but we've got time to figure it out. So, well, guys, Raider Ray is here to scare the living crap out of you. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's faded in the background with a lot of light in his face.
Join us for the spooky build coming soon.
I love it.
Yeah, you're welcome, Jackie. I went ahead and did that for you.
Okay.
He did it just for you right here. I'm just gonna do, we got merch people. All right, no,
God, I'm just
wrong
glad-
show,
I'm just
sorry.
glad he didn't yell it.
yeah, no, wrong show. Sorry.
James is gonna be so upset with you.
He's gonna be like, you're supposed to plug the merch every show.
But we do have merch people.
We do have merch people,
We have
guys.
merch people.
The hats. If you guys are interested in hats, you got,
Cats in the hats.
the cats in the hats.
Charlie would
Um,
look great
balls in
with
the
that.
box.
Oh,
Although we should put them in the hat now.
that's right.
Give me cat
Charlie, you're
hats.
so excited. He's not.
Well, ending on the show here, guys. What I need now is pluggables. Any kind of plugs that you have, Jen, wherever, any appearances that you're making, social media, all that kind of stuff. Throw your plugs on what we're doing here. Let us know where you're going to be. Pluggables.
All right. So we will be probably at LA Comic Con will be our next con. So check out the programming schedule to find out what panel or panels we have. My Instagram handle, that's for my cosplay, is on the screen. And Avengers Initiative can be found at avengersinitiative.com. I know we're doing some baseball games next year. Right now, some of the stuff we're doing isn't public. It's clinical. But, we're doing Fandom Brews. It's going to be in Redlands, California on November 6th, and it's going to be like a mini con at Escape Brewery. So that's a big fun, all ages, family friendly. There'll be a costume contest. We're going to be there from 3 to 10 at night.
Please remind me about that. I'd love to go to that.
I will. I'll remind. That's a long drive for you, buddy, but yeah,
Where's it again?
it's in Redlands. Down the hill.
Get a hotel or something.
Yeah. So yeah,
Oh.
that's what we've got coming up. Thank you so much for having me on and letting me talk about my favorite thing and my cat.
Please, before when you do get your schedule for your panels, make sure you share them so we'll put them in the distant learning post too. So
Yeah.
Definitely, I will. Thank you.
Yeah, if you're not a member yet and then distance learning to post, it's a public group.
no spoilers are ever shared there, by the way.
Okay.
Feel free to join
important.
and post any events that you guys are doing because
awesome.
we
Thank you.
have people all over the place. So, Ray, pluggables, baby, pluggables.
When I'm not standing up in the middle of Jennifer's pluggables because I have a hamstring cramp, you can find me. My handle is at Raider Ray, RAYDERRAY, as it shows on the screen. I have nothing to plug because the last thing I posted was a picture of the cat. So that's it. I got nothing for you. There's nothing really fun for me. I'm going to Disney World, and I'm sure I'll spam all the Instagram feeds with those or pictures of our New Orleans trip. So, but other than that, I'll come back onto the show probably in about for looking at the timing sometime in February. So,
all right. Well, Jack, I see your plug here. Pluggables.
Now I want an Uncrustable.
So there we go. So that's my Instagram. It's private because I'm a weirdo. Well, I'm not a weirdo. There's like.
Well, to be fair, you're a weirdo, but that's not why it's private.
There's
because there's other weirdos.
Yeah,
there's weirdos out there. I tried to have it, unprivate, and I wasn't feeling it. So feel free to add me. I post more stories than I do posts. I hope that is going to change soon. I have some new projects that I want to work on, trying to figure out how to share the stuff that I write about, but then also still not publish it, but still also share it as like an anthology eventually. So
tell us more about your books too, when you from time to time. The stuff you're telling us is interesting.
She has really interesting stories, but she's writing about that stuff.
No, I know that. No, I got that. No, I totally got that. Yeah.
Yeah, and with the books, I mean, I do like to read, and I do read. I'm just really not great at. It takes me a long time to write and to be able to really collect my thoughts so that they make sense. But anyways, that's what you can find on my Instagram. If you want to follow me, and that kind of stuff.
All right. And then, of course, guys, distance nerding. You already know who we are. If you don't know who we are, then I don't know how you found the channel, but I'm happy that you're here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to follow more of our exploits, things that we do, you can follow us on all the social medias that exist: Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook Live, MySpace, OnlyFans. If it exists, we're there. Our OnlyFans is just pictures of birds' feet. So, I mean, that's just there. It's what we do. Ladies and gentlemen.
Did you tell Jen about the dance party?
I was going to warn her here in a second. So I forgot to warn her about the dance party. But yeah, guys, at Distance Nerding, everything that's there. Jen, it's not that much to warn about. The dance party is basically how we end the show here.
All right.
So
I'm on an 80-year-old chair, so.
No. The thing is, the way it works is it's a single camera for everyone. They have to do their own dance before.
And you usually do it with an object.
Yeah. So
Charlie.
Sure, there you go.
I love it. All right, so you'll get the example here in a second. So let's go ahead and get the dance party going. All right, where am I starting? I'm going to start with. Oh yeah, I'm starting there. Wait a minute.
John C.
Almost mixed it. Where's Phil's notebook?
Distance nerding.
Yay, Charlie.
He's not loving this.
He's like, I hate you. Put me down.
Put me down now, human.
This is James's only appearance on the show.
He has his glasses.
He does.
You're welcome, James. Oh, well.
Oh, no.
Yeah! Raider Ray!
Man, I have one that's packed up, though.
Abracadabra. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you guys so much.
See you guys next week!